What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Primetime Sports Podcast, hosted by Joey Maylari. So I know it's been a long time now since my last episode. There's a lot of sports news to catch up on, including some moves in the NBA. The NFL will be starting this week. Now, obviously, baseball as well is starting to pick up with September baseball starting today. So now we're getting ready for the playoffs. And obviously, the NHL is not too far away either. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to hit as much as I can over the next couple weeks. But today's episode is going to be, I believe this will be the fourth year that the sports guru, Mike Hurley, and I break down our quarterback rankings before the NFL season begins. These rankings are all based on where we think guys will end up by the end of the season. There's going to be some hot takes in there. We're going to get some right. We're going to get some wrong. Every single year, there's a guy that we end up getting right, and then we're going to miss on some guys as well. But essentially, these rankings are based on where we think guys can end up by the end of the year. So we're ranking quarterbacks 1 through 32 in the NFL. All starting quarterbacks right now. We will talk about some backups like we always do, but I believe we are just going with the starting quarterbacks 1 through 32, ranked based on where we think they will be in the league by the end of the season. So how are we doing today, Mike? Thank you for coming on.
This is huge. Good time of year.
I believe this is our fourth annual quarterback rankings episode. I believe we did one in 22, 23, 24, 25 now.
Mm-hmm. It's a good show topic. It's probably the best show topic you can get, Most talked about position in sports, probably, right?
I would agree. The most important, probably, position as well.
People say so.
Yeah, a lot of obviously power comes to being the quarterback of a team. A lot of responsibility as well, and rightfully so. Obviously, that guy needs to be a leader and somebody that produces. Yeah. So I'm excited to see where your rankings fall today.
And a lot of money, right? These guys are making $50 million a year now. So
backups are making 15 even sometimes. So
what's that? 60? Dak?
Dak's over 60. Yes, I think it was like 65 million roughly. I'll check right now. But yeah, guys are getting paid, so that's why this position is obviously an important one, and that's why I'm happy we are breaking this down. So yeah, Dak is getting $60 million a year in average annual value. 4 years, $240. So he's getting paid.
Kids in the backyard throwing the football around.
That's it. You're right. Yeah, being a quarterback's a great job. I think being an NBA player is the best job in the world. Now SGA is getting $72 million on his new extension per year, and most NBA players are making $50, $60 million if you're a star. Backups are making $18 million off the bench. That's the best job in the world is being an NBA player.
Yeah.
NBA money's different. Quarterback money's different, and edge rusher, great edge rusher, great tackle. Their money's always going to be different. But if you're,
what's Scotty Scheffler cleaning up this year? 100 mil? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, golfers make money, right? If you win each
tournament,
tournament,
you do have to win though to get that money.
Yeah, and they get endorsement money as well. But I think NBA money's different because in the NFL, third wide receivers aren't getting paid more than $10 million a year, maybe. Like that's what Darius Slayton's getting, like $15 million a year, $12 million a year. But that's the thing in the NBA, guys off the bench are making $20 million now, so $18 million. So NBA money's different in my eyes, but I know. Obviously, quarterbacks are going to get paid.
It's all about that guaranteed money too.
NFL's not as much guaranteed as NBA.
It's an owner-driven league.
Fair point. Well, we can dive in. So we'll go 1 through 5, 6 through 10. We'll break it down, roughly like we always do. I did preface in the intro that these are where we find quarterbacks falling by the end of the year. So, 1 through 32, based on where the starting quarterbacks are, or we think they will be, I should say, by the end of the season. So we'll see how things go. We're gonna have hot takes in there. I did let people know, and for people that haven't heard any of these before, we've had some makes and our misses. I missed on Daniel Jones a couple times, which you'll see today in the rankings. He's not as high as he's been in the past, but he is still pretty highly regarded, I guess, in more people's eyes and more in my eyes than most. But
I'm still going to the well on a couple of guys.
Just hoping this is the year.
All right. Who wants to do 1 through 5? I think everybody knows the top 5.
Yeah, I think 4 of the top 5, everyone's going to have the same 4 guys, just roughly different order maybe in the top 5. I have one hot take in my top 5 that might be, I guess, good if it works out. If it doesn't, it won't look great because he didn't play well last year, but I know he's battling injuries. But I'll let you start. We'll let you start 1 through 5, and then I'll give my 1 through 5.
All right, 1 through 5 in order. Everyone knows the core 4. I still got Mahomes number 1. I just, you can't win 2 Super Bowls in a year. The only guy who could catch up close to him is Hurts. So I don't think that's going to happen. So I got Mahomes, I got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and then Hurts 5th.
Wow.
I still think the top 4 guys are a little cut above Hurts, but He just won that Super Bowl. He's got to be in there. So, and then I put Jackson above Burrow. Burrow missed the playoffs last year. Even if he makes it this year, if you take a look at the Vegas odds, and AFC North, good division. Ravens are minus money to win it again. So, I mean, at some point, you got to tip your cap to the guy who's leading the better team.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you mean. Playoffs do matter, obviously, but Burrow did play unreal last year. It wasn't really his fault.
You know, you can put up a lot of garbage time stats and have a lot of nice numbers.
43 touchdowns he threw, though. I mean, he had a really good year. 43 touchdowns, 9 picks.
He lost to the Patriots.
He did week 1, yeah. I mean, they start slow every year, the Bengals.
Well, I mean, he played all of the preseason games this year, so you can't just roll the balls out. Week 1, my name's Joe Burrow. I'm going to beat anyone on the planet. It just doesn't happen. So I think he'll be great. I mean, I got him top 4. That group is the only guys who beat other players in the top 4 seem to be other top 4 players, you know?
Yeah.
Burrow beat Allen in the playoffs. He beat Mahomes. Allen beat Lamar last year. Mahomes beat Allen. Like, these guys just beat each other, and no one else really beats them.
Fair.
That seems to be the case in the big games anyways.
I get what you mean.
Every team drops a game here and there, but they're perennial playoff teams, except Burrow did miss last year, so I got to dock him, even though I think he's a great player. I'll take him on my team any day. He does have Chase. He's got T. He's got weapons, as they say. Offensively, I don't think his surrounding cast, it's probably the best of any of them. So he's got the best receivers probably in the league, and to miss the playoffs, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, he put up big numbers with those receivers, though. Like we said, like 43 touchdowns, 9 picks, great year, almost 5,000 passing yards. Could have been an MVP, but obviously if you miss the playoffs, you're not going to get, you're not going to get
You cannot be MVP if you miss the playoffs.
I agree, but he did have an excellent year if you look at his numbers. And when you watch him play, too, I watched the quarterback show on Netflix, and I thought he had a great year, and I knew he had a great year. But when you watch that show, it's like, wow, he really was playing, miraculously, and guys around him just weren't playing great. The defense wasn't great. The offensive line's still not excellent, and you can't make excuses all the time, and I get that. You got to elevate.
It is a dramatization, though. They're only focusing on him, showing the highlights. Like, if your defense is so bad that they can't go on the field, then don't throw a 50-yard bomb touchdown. Like Brady used to hold the ball for 8 minutes a drive if he knew the defense wasn't up to snuff against Peyton Manning or someone like that. If you're the best player on the team and you got all these weapons, you can, do the 4-minute offense or whatever they call it, the slow play, where you're controlling clock, keeping your defense off the field so that they're not out there chance after chance letting the other team have the ball again, because if your defense is just a bunch of turnstiles, the team's going to walk down the field and score again.
Fair point. Yeah, longer drives obviously keeps your defense rested, and the less time the other quarterback has the ball in their hands, right? The opposing quarterback won't have the ball.
You like Burrow in a shootout, but Lamar beat him last year. I mean, what was their best win? I don't know. They beat the Steelers or something, maybe once.
They went on a stretch. They won like 5 or 6 games in a row at one point. I think 5 games in a row, roughly, or 5 of 6 maybe. But they did lose, some games early on that really did hurt them. That Patriots loss was not great. They lost some close games to the Chiefs. Washington, I believe they lost a close game too.
I mean, they had 4 losses pretty good. Are they 1-5? I mean,
yeah, they struggled. I mean, every year they start out cold, and that's why in the preseason this year you saw Burrow play, you saw Jamar Chase play. And that's why they're doing that, just to get guys going early on so that the beginning of the season isn't, hey, these are our first snaps together live on offense,
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that it's just like starting pitchers. You put the win column next to the quarterback, and that's got to be the most important stat.
It is a team game, though. Pitching is a team game, too. Kind of your defense is important and stuff like that.
But starting pitchers, any pitcher has a win-loss record, but it's the same with quarterback. And goalies in hockey, the win-loss record is the stat that goes next to them because they're on the field and they, so much of the outcome of the game is in their hands.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. It's a big responsibility that comes with being a goalie, a quarterback, starting pitcher. Obviously, all of that, makes sense, and I agree with you there. As for Lamar Jackson, though, you had Lamar at, was it 2?
I got him at 3.
At 3. Okay, 3.
Mahomes, Allen, Jackson. I mean, Lamar could have been MVP last year. He threw, 41 touchdowns?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Underrated passer. He's never had the best weapons out there, passing-wise. Obviously, his offensive line's great. Running game speaks for itself. Playoff wins have eluded him. He has been close, though, and it hasn't all been his fault. Mahomes a couple years ago, or was it last year? Yes. Zaphod reaches out for the touchdown. If he just goes down at the 1, I mean, I'm giving them a 99% chance to score with Lamar and Derrick Henry first and goal from the 2-yard line. Like, there's no need to overextend and risk the turnover. He's not going at the door. he hasn't made it to the big game yet. Neither has Allen, but he's come closer, I'd say. More knocks at the AFC Championship. Burrow has made a Super Bowl, so that's why, for a time there, he was probably ranked ahead of those two. I bring him back after missing the playoffs.
That's fair. I got Burrow very high. I mean, we'll get to mine in a second, but I think Burrow should be higher in your list. I do. I think talent-wise, I know we're not talking just talent here. Situation matters, and obviously where they are in their careers, everything matters in that regard. You know, what your surroundings look like. But when you look at Burrow play, I mean, I think he's the most talented quarterback in the NFL. I do. When I watch him play.
People say he plays a lot like Tom Brady.
I mean, that means he should be higher in your list then, right? I mean...
Well, Tom Brady won a lot more, especially at this stage.
Fair point. Yeah, I mean, Burrow's made a Super Bowl, which is good, but
he did. Yeah,
he's made one, and the other guys that we've mentioned, you know, Allen and Lamar have not. Tell me about Josh Allen, though. I know you're a big Josh Allen fan. You've been now for a few years, more than a few years.
I think if I was starting a team today, he'd be the guy I'd want. But he's in the Patriots division. We see him multiple times a year, so you get jealous that he's kicking their butt all the time. What more do you want? He's got the perfect build. He's massive. He can run. He's tough. Most difficult QB to sack. Strong arm. He's good. He's got the winning quotient. I just think he's been razor thin margins losing these games to Mahomes, especially. And the one at home to Burrow, that was a tough one a couple of years ago in the playoffs. But I think he beat Lamar last year, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, none of these guys are all AFC. They all have to play each other. It's a gauntlet to make it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC because there's just so many good quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, he's right there. I don't know if this is his year to win it all. He's on Hard Knocks. Maybe I've been drinking some of the Kool-Aid on him. But I would take him probably number one, starting the team today, to be my quarterback. So that's what I think.
I agree with you. I think
he's just, talent-wise, build-wise, he's what you want.
Allen, he's had some big time wins too. I mean, obviously he hasn't won the big games yet, but he's beaten those guys we already mentioned. Beat Lamar in the playoffs. So it was the Ravens lost to the Bills this year in the playoffs in 2025, but it was last year, 2024, the Chiefs beat the Ravens.
The Chiefs won, yeah.
So Lamar has lost to two great quarterbacks the last couple of years. So he's losing to just anybody.
And I think he was at Buffalo this time. The one against Mahomes, I think, was in Baltimore. So that's a tough loss, Mm-hmm. At home, you're expected to have the edge.
Correct. I agree with you. I like you 1 through 5, though, there. I can give mine similar. We have 4 of the same 5 guys, just probably a different order. Mine's a little bit mixed. And I have a different 5th guy in there. I don't have Jalen Hurts in my top 5, which we'll get to that. Hurts obviously had a great year and won the Super Bowl, but I do think surroundings matter. And
he's made it to 2.
Yeah, he has. He's won 1 and lost 1.
You got to give him some credit.
No, definitely. He has. I have some guys in there that are hot takes in my top 10 that I have above Jalen Hurts. That's not necessarily a knock on Jalen Hurts. I just think some guys are going to ball this year, and we'll get to those guys in a minute. But my 1 through 5, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. This one's interesting. I flip-flopped, not all day, but the last 20 minutes between the 3rd and 4th. And I went Jordan Love at 3, Patrick Mahomes at 4, Josh Allen at 5. Hit me up, though. We'll start with Jordan Love because that's the one you reacted to.
Patrick Mahomes.
That's the one you reacted to.
Record this episode.
This is the one you reacted. That's the one you reacted to the most. So I'm gonna explain myself here. I think Mahomes, obviously, yes. You're looking to win a Super Bowl. Mahomes probably gives you a better chance. I think Jordan Love this year, though, I think his numbers, if we're looking at just numbers and where they fall, I think Jordan Love's going to have a big-time year. I thought last year he was going to battle the injuries. Didn't happen, sadly. Just never really found his footing all year long. Started out decent and then got hurt midway through and then never really just, got healthy again. It was never fully locked in. But I do think what they did in the offseason, added Matthew Golden was great. Obviously now adding Micah Parsons is going to strengthen that defense. You have Jaden Reed. You have Tucker Kraft. You got Josh Jacobs. There's a lot of weapons around him.
All right. You're speaking to the team. I mean, the player, the individual player. You have to think, if you put Mahomes on the Packers, their odds to win the Super Bowl go way up.
Fair.
I know they went up with Parsons, but, in a single game, even teams, even uneven teams, you would really take Jordan Love over Patrick Mahomes.
No, I'm not taking it that way. I'm just ranking
you just
it based
think he's
on...
going to have that good of a year?
I think he's a better year. That's ware it basically is. So it's tough.
More touchdowns, but I don't see him going...
that's kind of part of my argument here is numbers. I mean, that's kind of what it is. Like Joe Burrow, like we just said, missed the playoffs last year, but I have him number 1 because he couldn't throw the most touchdown passes, So it's tough. He's
probably the favorite to do it. I mean, he's got two of the best receivers in the league, yeah.
Two great weapons there, and obviously a great running back and Chase Brown as well. But hear me out. I think Love can play. I think last year's never really found his footing. 2 years ago was great. That breakout year in 23 was awesome. And most people had him in their top 8, probably top 7 heading into last year, and he struggled. But if he took a step up last year and went from, let's say, 8 to 5, people could have had him at 3 this year, and no one would have talked about it. Obviously, a down year prevented that. Now people are going to have him middle of the pack. And that's probably where most people would have him today. I think he rises above that this year. I think he's going to have a great year. Like I just noted, though, yes, if you're trying to win a playoff game, Mahomes is going to be above that probably.
He's probably the number one guy on it.
Yes, fair point. But I'm going based on how I think they'll perform numbers-wise this year and how I think they'll fall. And I think Love has a better year than Mahomes in that regard. I do.
All right.
So,
if you include playoffs, maybe. Probably not, though.
It's a regular season thing, isn't this, though, Connor? Because we're ranking 1 through 32. It's kind of regular season.
I still keep I value making the playoffs and winning playoff games the most.
Okay,
So
I value touchdown
that's kind
numbers.
of factors into my rankings.
I value touchdown numbers and surroundings. So Bryce Young last year was not high on most people's lists heading into the year. I said last year he's not going to throw as many touchdown passes as most guys, but I think by the end of the year, you look at what he did with the plays he had around him, and he'll be higher in most lists because of what he did with what was around him. And respectively, it makes sense when you look at his numbers last year. Bryce Young played well considering what he had around him. So I do think surroundings matter. When I look at this,
the end, he did.
The way I'm ranking this is based on, I think numbers. I think numbers matter and surroundings. And that's how I feel. And I think Love, obviously the surroundings are going to be good with those weapons. But I think numbers and where they fall, in regard to the other guys, that's kind of where I rank
what about
it. So
the
that's why
win-loss number? The win-loss number, that's the big number.
That's fair. I mean, Mahomes probably wins more games than Love this year, yes. But it'll be close.
That's
It'll be close.
Sort of, I think that's up in the air.
That'll be close.
Tough division for Love, but roster-wise, he's got a great team.
Yeah, I agree. Am I crazy to have Mahomes at 4? I guess, but
thank God he's in the top 4, but I got him at 1, even though he's probably down a peg from last year. That Super Bowl loss, let's face it, he got embarrassed. That was a poor showing. Mm-hmm. But he still made it to the Super Bowl. You can't knock a guy for getting there. That's even if you get there and lose, that's still impressive. That's what Burrow's hanging his hat on right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Throwing a bunch of touchdowns, but he didn't make the playoffs.
I agree with you. Mahomes' numbers have been down a little bit the last couple of years, right? Look at 2020 to 2022. Yeah. He threw 38 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns, 41 touchdowns, right?
Tyreek Hill.
Yes, Tyreek Hill was a factor. And then 23-24 without Tyreek, 27 touchdowns, 26 touchdowns. So numbers are down. I'm valuing numbers here heavily. I know you're going more based on playoffs and where guys will rank, based on how they perform by the end of the year and then, how they perform in the postseason, which makes sense.
I think the team build around Mahomes, he can't really control too much.
Yeah.
They're not going to go trade Kelsey if he's like, hey, that's my guy. Just like they wouldn't have traded
Tyreek Hill
or something for Brady. But you know what? I was going to have the 2007 Patriots lineup throwing bombs to Randy Moss and putting up 50 touchdowns. Sometimes he's got, Troy Brown, and he's got to play a little more control the clock game. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean Brady's still not a better quarterback than, Kurt Warner, even though Kurt Warner put up some huge numbers back in the day.
I'm valuing numbers here with this. I'm not going to lie. I do value it.
I think the win-loss record has to be the most important,
Fair. No, fair.
In my mind.
That's fair. So a
better quarterback should be able to win games even without having the cheat code guys where you can just say, hey, go deep, I'll throw it to you, he's going to catch it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Higgins, these guys.
I think, honestly, with my 3 through 5, like my 1 through 2, I'm solid with, and I'm staying firm on that, Burrow and Jackson. I think 3 through 5, I flip-flopped a few times. I went from Love, Allen, Mahomes, Love, Allen, Mahomes, Allen, Love. I switched it around 10 times, I feel like. So my 3 through 5 is pretty tough. I think, if you're looking based on who you'd want in a playoff game right now, considering how they played last year, right? Because you don't know how guys will be this year and stuff. You're basing on last year, yes. Mahomes is above Love. Allen's above Love. Love's probably outside the top 10, right? He didn't have a great year last year. But I think it's tough. Allen could have been third.
I think he's won playoff games already. I think
he has.
First year
he did. He beat the Cowboys.
So, he's got playoff wins under his belt, which is, I'm going to hang my hat on that for the next guy on my list.
Fair point. He had 25 touchdowns last year, Love. He could throw 25 touchdowns, 11 picks. Still a decent year, just wasn't as good as the year before. So I think it's tough. I think right now, my 1 through 2, I'm happy with, as I said, Burrow, Jackson. But I feel like, if I could switch it around, maybe Mahomes, Love, Allen. I mean, maybe I haven't moved Allen up. I don't know. This is the highest Allen's been on my list, I think. I had him outside the top 5 a couple times.
He's knocking on the door. You got to keep him top echelon.
No, he's moved up in my list. He wasn't top 5 last year, in my rankings before the season began.
After his rookie year, right?
I was very high on him to start out, and then I think with a lot of guys, the media and fans start loving the guy, and then the hype gets big, and then they don't need me to be all in and love them, right? So
look at C.J. Stroud. They started saying, "Is he better than Mahomes after his rookie year?"
And then guys fall off. But that's what happens. Guys go crazy with people just get crazy with the predictions and the hype, and then they don't need my support, and I go for the guys that under the radar that no one's supporting. That's usually how it goes, right? With me,
even Mahomes a little bit. They start saying he's better than Tom Brady before he even wins the game.
You're right.
And then look what happens.
You're right. So my 1 through 5, it's tough. It's interchangeable, I feel like, with that 3 through 5. I know people are going to think it's crazy having Love there at 3. I think he has a big year. I do. If I could switch it around, I think it would make the most sense to have Burrow, Jackson, Mahomes, Allen, Love. But
you think Love asserts himself and gets in that same tier as those guys?
I think he has a big year. I do. Yes. Yeah. I do.
It's like even Hurts probably deserves to be in that tier. We did 1 through 5. I still think the top 4 guys are better than him.
Yeah. I agree.
Hurts just has such a good team. Offensive line is unbelievable.
Weapons are great.
And his skill set and some of the way they call the games takes some pressure off him as a passer. Mm-hmm. QB, I still value the passing element the most. Mm-hmm. Even Lamar Jackson's out there throwing 40 touchdowns, right? And he doesn't have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. I mean, he's throwing a Zay Flowers.
And Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews. That's why it's most impressive. That's why Lamar could be number 1, because he's not really throwing a big-time talent.
Passing touchdowns before. He did his first MVP
2019.
Year. That's right. 35 touchdowns or something.
Yeah, he did. And that's why it's very impressive. That's why he could be higher in most lists rather than being 2 or 3. He could be 1 because he's not really throwing all-pro receivers, right? He has Derrick Henry out of the backfield, and that also opens up the field.
He passes well out of the pocket, which I like. He's not like Kyler Murray, where he has to run out college style, and it doesn't look like it's going to translate to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Lamar can get back there, throw from the pocket, and then he scampers off when he has to.
You're right. I agree. Lamar's awesome. I
mean, certainly as an individual player, probably the most scary if you're a defense. Like, this guy can run by everyone, or if we break coverage, he's hitting the guy.
Yeah, he's very silenced all the haters from when he was a prospect coming out of college.
He's not a loudmouth at all.
He's not, but he's silenced all the haters with his play, right? Like, because a lot of people said he can't throw and he won't be a pocket passer, and which
if he goes and beats,
he won't be able to play in the pocket, but he can.
If he goes and beats either Mahomes, especially Burrow, Allen in the playoffs, that's going to give him a lot more praise. I think he can do it. Mm-hmm. He just hasn't to this point.
Okay,
which is why he's usually ranked 4th out of those 4. But hey, I'm right with you. I think he's every bit as good as those guys.
Yeah, he's a stud.
I would take him on my team any day.
He's a stud. I have him at 2. And then, as I said, if I could switch it around right now, I'm going to stay firm with Love at 3. I'm just saying, if you're ranking it based on playoffs, yes, you probably have a better chance of winning a playoff game with Mahomes or Allen than you do Love. That's probably the truth of it. So in that case,
I could see Love putting up 40 touchdowns.
That's why I do it. I'm going based off numbers here. Burrow's number 1. And he missed the playoffs last year. I'm looking at pure talent and numbers.
Yeah, but would you have voted Burrow for MVP last year?
No. Because he missed the playoffs. If he makes the playoffs, yes.
If he makes the playoffs, maybe. I mean, I still might put Lamar or Josh Allen ahead of him because Lamar won that division. Lamar put up 40-something touchdowns,
Yeah. I get that.
He beat him twice head-to-head. He's beat him almost every time head-to-head.
Fair point. So that's a good 1 through 5 for each of us.
It's a team game, but at some point you have to actually beat that guy.
You do. I would agree. No, you're not wrong. But I like our 1 through 5s. Do you want to move on now to 6 through 10?
Yeah, you want to just roll into your 6 through 10?
Let me run through mine really quick. So I got Baker Mayfield at 6. Kind of a hot take, because considering, here's the thing.
Very hot take.
It's a hot take. Baker was not in my top. I probably was like 12 last year, maybe. I can't remember. He might have been like 12, 13.
Even 12 from his high.
But he had a great year. You look at the numbers, 43 touchdowns last year, career year. Can he do it again? That's a question.
Games, right? Did he win 1 or lose?
He won 1, I think. I think they won 1.
Because they ended up losing to, I think they won 1, then lost.
Let me see. I think they won 1. Did they beat
the Packers?
No, they lost in the wild card round to Commanders.
The Commanders, wow.
So, actually, maybe not.
Commanders been on a run. I mean, you gotta like that.
Well, this isn't feeling great now that I look at it again. So I got Baker Mayfield
I'm
at
throwing you
6.
for a loop with all this playoff talk.
I know, that's the thing. I was going based off numbers, really, not playoffs. But Baker Mayfield at 6, Bryce Young at 7. Probably the biggest hot take so far.
100%.
Caleb Williams at 8, Jalen Hurts
my-
at 9, Aaron Rodgers at 10.
Aaron Rodgers.
Hear me out here. Let me listen.
What is this,
Let me
2011?
listen. Hear me out. Let me go 20 seconds on each guy of why I have each guy where I have them at.
I'm going to need 20 minutes worth of evidence.
All right. Baker Mayfield had a monster year last year. Can he do it again? Obviously, probably won't throw 43 touchdowns again, but he has the weapons and the talent to throw.
Well, let me throw this at you. I know Godwin's hurt, but first round pick,
Ibuka's
wide receiver,
awesome. I think he's a stud. He's gonna be a star.
Evans is back again. Cade Otton's been good. Bucky Irving,
Stud.
good little running back last year. He should be even better. Offensively, he's got all the resources to put up those numbers again. So for me, it's not about could he do another 40 touchdown year or whatever he had. It's more about how far can the team really go on his back, playoff-wise.
So, yeah, we're looking at two different angles. I'm looking based off numbers and touchdown passes and yards and, this situation. And you're looking at playoffs.
I think that's more
which
about
I get.
the surrounding cast.
Fair. That's fair. See, we're looking at two different ways, which is fine. We've done the same thing in the past. Just I'm noticing it more now than ever in this episode. But so I got Baker at 6, Bryce Young at 7, Caleb Williams at 8, Jalen Hurts at 9, Aaron Rodgers at 10. Let me go really quick down the line.
Yeah, keep going.
So Baker, I think obviously the surrounding cast is awesome. He can throw 35 touchdowns pretty easily.
He's a number one overall pick. I mean, obviously people thought he was.
I was down on him. 2 years ago, I had him like 30th, I think it was. And then he really broke out on the Bucks and really figured out a revival in his career, and he's been awesome. And he's fun to watch. I mean, he airs it out. He's not afraid to,
He does air it out. I do like that.
He likes chunk plays. He throws it deep. He doesn't care. He'll air it out. And then if you need to hit a guy in the flat, he can do that too. But he likes airing it out, which I like. Bryce Young at 7. Here's how I feel about him. Same way I felt last year. Everyone was down on Bryce and, he's struggling and he's not, he's not C.J. Stroud, because Stroud is great as a rookie. But Bryce Young didn't really have the surrounding cast that Stroud did. Stroud went in there with no expectations. No one really thought they were going to be a playoff team right away in his rookie year. And he elevated the guys around him, was awesome. But he also had some better receivers and a little bit better of a situation than Carolina had.
A lot better.
You look at Bryce Young last year, after being benched in week 4, his last 10 starts, 15 touchdown passes, 6 picks, 223 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. So 20 total touchdowns in his last 10 starts last year, right? You look at 2023, 253 rushing yards, no touchdowns. That was in the whole season of 2023. Last year in his last 10 games, he did that in the same amount, but added 5 rushing touchdowns. So same amount of rushing yards just about, but added 5 rushing touchdowns. Started being a little bit more aggressive running the ball, and that really opened up the offense. Got a lot more comfortable in the pocket, throwing the ball.
Was it Canales, the coach there?
Yes. Yep. Dave Canales. Yep. And he got a lot more comfortable throwing the ball. I think Bryce Young can have a big year. I like Tito McMillan a lot. Watched him play in Arizona a lot the last couple of years. I was very high on him in college, and then obviously ended up being a top pick in the NFL draft. I think Bryce Young can have a big season. At number 8, we have Caleb Williams, which he's got Ben Johnson now to run the offense.
You love these number 1 overall picks. I mean, you just.
I do. I mean, that's 3 in a row right there.
Right there.
Baker, Young, and Williams. Here's the thing with Caleb, though, right? Ben Johnson's now the head coach, going to have a big role, calling plays probably in that offense. And he honestly had a decent year last year. Caleb got a lot of smack talk thrown his way, but he played decently considering what he had, which I know he had good weapons. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen. He did throw 20 touchdowns, 6 picks, just about 3,500 passing yards. Had a decent year numbers-wise. Once again, I'm basing this a lot off numbers, and I'm looking at situations.
I mean, what did he have for, sacks and fumbles and stuff?
Sacks a lot of the time were his fault. I mean, he did hold the ball for a while, and he ran into sacks, which that was a problem.
He's not the only young guy where that happens.
But that's the thing.
A lot of drives getting sacked.
That's the thing. Sacks are a problem for him. He's got to get rid of the ball. That's obviously an issue. But I have him at 8. I think it's going to be a big breakout year. I love the addition of Ben Johnson, which Ben Johnson worked wonders for Jared Goff. Goff looked awesome the last couple of years. So I think he can do the same for Caleb. And Caleb had a good year last year. It wasn't like I'm taking a guy that threw 10 touchdowns a year before, and now I have him top 10. Like Bryce Young, after his rookie year, only threw 11 touchdowns his rookie year, right? Then this past year, got a little better, and that's why I haven't taken another big step. Caleb Williams last year played okay as a rookie, and I think now he takes another big step up. I like Ben Johnson running that offense, as the head coach. At number 9, Jalen Hurts. Hurts, like you said, if we're ranking it based off playoffs, Hurts obviously has now won a Super Bowl and lost a Super Bowl. He's been there twice. Has had an impressive cast around him, which I can't say is a knock on him because you can't blame a guy for a good surrounding cast, right? And he also elevates the guys around him. Like, he makes some guys have good years. Goddard, he made good a couple times.
You got to mention it. You got to mention that he's got great surrounding cast.
He's got great surrounding cast. He also elevates the guys around him. A.J. Brown was good in Tennessee, turned him into a legit wide receiver 1 in a top wide receiver in the league with Jalen Hurts. So Hurts is great. Yeah. Hurts is a really good quarterback.
And even in the Super Bowl, obviously the defense made a point to stop Saquon, but it wasn't the Saquon show.
Correct.
It was the Jalen Hurts show.
I have a question for you, though. Can Saquon put up another 2,000-yard season? Because I just saw a stat today.
Maybe, but
the last 3 or 4 that have done it, they haven't been able to get 2,000 again. Derrick Henry, Chris Johnson.
If I was the coach, I wouldn't want him to. You want to preserve those legs a little bit.
Fair point.
Fair point. It's one thing if you have to lean on the guy, but it's not like it's 1950. Like, it's a passing league. You should be able to get by without feeding Saquon so much. Even if you just get the backup running backs involved a little more to give him a blow. Like, yeah, he's great. Could he? Maybe, but I don't think that's the best for the Eagles if he's, again, the bell cow leading the offense, more important than the quarterback.
Fair point. Yeah,
but if I had to bet on it, I would say no, he doesn't do it. It's just... That's a monumental task.
I agree. I don't think he'll be putting up 2,000 again. I think it makes sense to preserve him.
I don't think he's a bad player either. I just think that's really tough.
I would agree. Yeah, it's not easy. With Hurts, though, I rank it based on a lot of time quarterbacks. I'm ranking a lot of this based on numbers, like I said. And he only threw 18 touchdowns last year. Did run for 14. So he had 32 total touchdowns last year, which is great. That's 4 straight seasons with 10 rushing touchdowns or more, which is awesome. He's been able to run the ball very well. Tush push works. But hey, whatever way you score, right? A touchdown's a touchdown. But only 18 touchdown passes. I think some of these guys around him are going to throw more touchdowns. That's why I have Bryce Young above him. I think he's going to throw more touchdowns this year. I think Caleb Williams will throw more touchdowns this year. So I'm ranking, as I said.
Did Hurts miss 2 games? 1 game, 2 games?
1 or 2. I had him 15 starts is what I have him listed at here.
Yeah.
So 2,900 passing yards. Wasn't it crazy?
By choice. The other one,
yeah.
I think he actually had like a shoulder thing.
Correct. But 2,900 passing yards. He didn't really throw for too much. Did throw for over 3,000. You know what I mean? So Caleb Williams
did.
When
you're winning every game because that defense is so good, like, you're running the clock out, and that's why Saquon had 2,000 yards.
But I'm as I said, numbers are important here to me. The passing yards and the touchdowns are part of this for me. So that's why I'm going with, even though Hurts had 32 total touchdowns, it matters. In my eyes, the passing touchdowns matter here from my rankings and passing yards, and that's why I've Hurts at 9, because I do think those guys above him probably throw more touchdowns this year. A.J. Brown's a little banged up too.
To their team than Hurts, yeah.
Exactly. They can run the ball, obviously, and win games. He's been great running the ball. And then Aaron Rodgers at 10. Played better last year than the numbers showed, especially if you look at the win-loss record. Like, the Jets did struggle, but he did throw, hear me out here, he did throw a ton of touchdowns last year. Like, he put up some good numbers last year. 17 starts, 3,900 passing yards just about, which was 8th most in the league. 28 passing touchdowns, which is tied for 7th with Josh Allen. So he was in the same class with Josh Allen as touchdown passes.
A lot different win-loss record, though.
Fair. 28 touchdowns, 11 picks. Had a good year last year. Now is DK Metcalf, too. He's going to fall off at some point, and it won't be, which I know he got hurt 2 years ago, but he recovered this year. He's not going to throw 30 touchdowns every year like he used to. So this could be the year, which he only threw 28 last year, but he'll have a better supporting cast, I'd say, a little bit better this year, especially defensively, which the Jets...
I mean, the Jets have a good roster on defense.
They do. They missed a lot of tackles, though.
No discipline, yeah.
No discipline and missed a lot of tackles, so... they'll have a better supporting cast, I think, around him this year. I contemplate having Jaden Daniels here at 10, but I'm not going to lie. There was some bias here with Rodgers. I'm a big Rodgers guy, as you know. So I had Rodgers at 10, Daniels at 11, which I'm not going to get into the 11 through 20 right now, but Daniels at 11, I do think he takes a slight step back like Stroud did. Stroud had a great rookie year, takes a slight step back. Still was a good quarterback, just took a slight step back. And then the guy that was secondary to him, right, Bryce Young, struggled his first year. Took a step up in his second year. Same thing, I think Caleb Williams takes a step up, and I take Jaden Daniels a slight step back. But that's how I feel. Let's hear your 6 through 10.
All right. That's an interesting point there about the flip-flop. Two
1 and 2 quarterbacks.
Overall.
Yep.
Yeah. Second pick overall has a better first year, regresses. First overall pick kind of bounces back. All right, 6 through 10. I'm sticking to my guns. I got Trevor Lawrence at 6. I know he had a down year. That was mostly due to injuries, okay? Jaguars are one of the worst franchises in sports to be drafted to, sort of like your guy Bryce Young.
Yep.
The only difference is now he's got Brian Thomas Jr. He's got the new head coach who's offensively, he helped Baker Mayfield out last year, right?
Liam Cohen. Yep.
Travis Hunter. Yep. I mean, he's got a few guys to throw the ball to. And I think, hey, if I'm redrafting a team today, that's where I'm picking Trevor Lawrence. Might even take him ahead of Hurts. I think
I'll take him ahead of Hurts. If I'm drafting a team today, I think it'd still be great.
I saw him in college, 15-0, beats Alabama. I mean, the guy can do it. He's a winner. He's won a playoff game, largest playoff comeback, at least in the Super Bowl era, I think, right? 28 points down.
Correct.
To the Chargers. So only one other guy who did something like that. I think his name is Tom Brady. That's right. So I got Trev at 6. This is 100% on big bounce back year. I expect him to make the playoffs. I expect him to win playoff games. I expect him to at least win one round, maybe 2 rounds in the playoffs with this type of ranking inside the top 10.
That's fair. Hey, we have hot takes. This is what it's about, right? We're going to make some, we're going to miss some.
Fans listening, I'll trade Drake May for Trevor Lawrence any day, right now.
I still believe in Trev too. I do.
So I got him at 6 still. I think I had him top 5 last year. Something crazy.
Me and you both did, and I moved him down a little bit. He did only throw 11 touchdowns last year, 7 picks, 10 starts.
He only really played a handful of games.
Battled injuries.
In full, right?
It couldn't really run last year because he banged up with the ankle injury at one point, right? Too, or was it 2 years ago? An ankle injury.
I think he might have had a little concussion, ankle.
Yeah, he only ran for 120 yards last year, and he obviously could do that.
Is horrible. I mean,
they addressed it a little bit in the offseason
this year, but we'll see.
I agree. All right.
So I got Lawrence 6, Brock Purdy 7, Daniels 8, and then I got Stafford at 9 and Dak Prescott at 10.
Okay.
So I don't know if we have any overlap.
None there, 6 through 10.
I don't think we have any at all.
0, 6 through 10 overlap.
Maybe that says how good quarterback plays in the league, a lot of good players, or just how wide open it is after the top 5.
Yeah, that's probably more what it is, how wide open it is, right? Because you had the 4 of the same 5 guys in the top 5. I had Love, you had Hurts. And like we said, you could mix up that core 4, which I had, we already mentioned already, but the core 4 you can kind of split up anyway. They're all going to be in that top 4. But then after that, that's where things get interesting, right? Based on situations and all that. It gets interesting. So
I think we both agree Hurts is probably not in the same tier as the other 4 guys. At least, broadly speaking, most guys have Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Burrow in some order. And then Hurts is probably the 5th, but he's not included in the top 4.
Fair. Yep, fair point.
So, Brock Purdy, he's made a Super Bowl before. His team should be good. This is a bounce-back year. We're getting some thumbs down from the peanut gallery. I would take Brock Purdy on my team. They gave him a big payday. I think their offensive line's still pretty solid. I think he still has a good offensive-minded head coach. Usually San Fran's a lot more competitive than they were last year. It seemed like they had just a big was that a Super Bowl hangover year for them, right?
Yeah, it was a down year.
They're making it lose.
Yep.
That's tough. I mean, they also
had injuries.
The Debo, Ayuk thing
McCaffrey
didn't work out so well. McCaffrey, too. I mean, battled injuries as an offense badly.
Ayuk got
Kittle
paid.
had a good year. I think Purdy still did okay, just not quite up to the standard of winning that he had before. And I'm going mostly based on wins. Do I think Brock Purdy's throwing 55 touchdowns? No.
Yeah.
Do I think they're making the playoffs and winning their division? Yes. And do I think that they're a huge threat to make the Super Bowl again? I do.
Okay,
I think he's a good player.
That's a tale of two cities. We got 2 different perspectives. I'm going based off touchdowns. You're going off wins.
Pretty good runner. Usually avoids the big mistake. But, he's not perfect. He's not – none of them are, but he's been knocking on the door a little bit, I would say.
It was a down year for him, but he threw 20 touchdowns still, 5 rushing as well. Like, he had decent numbers there.
Decent, yeah. And like I said, Ayuk, torn ACL, MCL, and Debo was barely played, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And then who's the kid who got shot, right? Pearsall.
Ricky Pearsall, yeah. He actually played pretty well the last few weeks.
First round pick, he should be good. We'll see what he is.
He played well the last few weeks.
McCaffrey's back. We'll see how they do.
Mm-hmm.
Jawan Jennings was good in the past. I mean, I think wide receiver, there's so many good ones in the league. You can grab a guy off the street. They can be all right.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent.
So I'm still high on him based on his previous record in the playoffs. I got Daniels. I mean, he made the NFC Championship game last year. It's hard to knock him a lot of people probably have him top 5 or top 6. I'm sort of like you. I think he might regress a little bit, but I still think he's a playoff. He's got to be favored to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, you've got to have him in the top 4. You got at the very least, right? Playoffs is 14 quarterbacks.
Outside the top 15. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There's 14 quarterbacks make the playoffs. He's definitely one of them.
What more could he have done last year? Win the Super Bowl. That's a crazy type of standard, but I think he's good. He's got good composure, which I like in a quarterback. He does hold the ball a lot, and he takes some risks. So he avoided the big hit last year, but he's not quite built like Josh Allen. Doesn't quite have the legs of Lamar Jackson. Like, he's going to eventually take some hits, and he's going to feel it.
Yeah,
he also started out older. Like, he was an older rookie quarterback, which I think was to his advantage, right? But he played on a team at LSU. I think he won the Heisman, right?
He did.
But they didn't make the college football playoff, which I do hold against him. He had neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. Like, he had a loaded squad. So even with a great offense in college, couldn't take them to the playoff. And the playoff was expanded the next year, right? But still, what was it, a 16 playoff?
Yeah, it was
You'd
6
like
then.
to think SEC school, bunch of first-round picks on the team. You should be able to get in there, but he didn't. So hard to knock him for college at this point, but it's just something to keep in the back of your mind. He's flashy, good offensive player.
I would agree.
Got Stafford at 9. He could easily drop out. I know he's got a back injury or something. I think in a big game, though, they went into Detroit, and did they win that game or lose? Did they lose that game?
Detroit lost to Washington.
No, I mean, early in the season, Stafford and the Rams went into Detroit.
Yeah, I think they might have won. Yeah, I think they did.
They may have won the game. I could be wrong.
I'll look it up. But I did.
It was like week 1 or 2, but...
Yeah, he can still play.
I still think in a big game, he's a good player. You like McVay, right? So he's in a good spot.
Lions won in September.
Okay.
In overtime, it was 26-20. But he showed some guts.
In Detroit.
Showed some guts. He can play, though, Stafford, which I have a little lower, but age is factoring in.
He's won a Super Bowl, so he can get there and do it.
Yep, I agree.
Wasn't too far removed from the Super Bowl. Really, what might be one of his last gasps. I mean, Puka Nacua is good. You got Devontae Adams, guy you like. I'm not a big Adams guy. I prefer Cooper Kupp. I wish we got Cooper Kupp instead of Stephon Diggs here, coming off that ACL, but whatever. It's just still a good offense, good offensive, head coach, a couple of good defensive players who were first-round picks last year, right? Verse and the other kid.
Verse and Fisk they added.
You know what? They played the Eagles, and this is another reason I have them so high. Was that a one-score game?
That was the closest playoff game for the Eagles.
It was a close game. So
yeah, right down to the wire.
Stafford as a quarterback is he's a force to be reckoned with when he's on. So great arm, obviously. Another number 1 overall pick back in his day. So I would take Stafford in a big game over my next guy, Dak. I think Dak's set up offensively to have a good year. CD, George Pickens, running game looks a little suspect, so they're going to be throwing the ball. I could see him putting up big numbers in the 40s for touchdowns. Win-loss, I don't know. This is maybe where my ranking of him is too high. Offensively, it seems like they should make the playoffs, but with Parsons gone, that defense could be a lot like what Burrow had to deal with last year, where the defense is letting up more points than the offense can score. So I still think he's a good quarterback, good passing quarterback. I got Dak at 10.
You never know how things shake up, which trading Parsons is tough, but the Red Sox, I know you love Devis, but they've played better without Devis, right? And the San Francisco Giants obviously have not. The Red Sox played better without him.
Though is, I guess you could say, is George Pickens the Roman Anthony here?
In addition, that shakes things up.
You'd still like to have both at the end of the day.
I mean, talent, yeah, they're both very talented players.
Parsons and Devis. From how far can they go standpoint, I just think Dak, quarterback-wise, I think he's a top 10 guy.
Okay, that's fine.
Number 10 specifically.
That's fair, though. I mean, he'll probably put up big numbers, like you said, with those guys. And I think Jaden Blue is going to be a stud, that running back. I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah. So, you know my take on CeeDee Lamb. I think he's the best receiver in the league. I think he's better than Jamar Chase. I think CeeDee's the best. If I was repicking everyone today, give me CeeDee Lamb.
Fair point. Yeah, you love CD. You do. Well, honestly, I like our 6 through 10. Very different, and for different reasons, right? Which some guys that we expect to take a step up, some guys that we expect to have big years because of their surrounding cast. Like, mine, in that regard was I went with Baker at 6 because of the weapons he has. I think Ibuka is going to be a stud. And then you kind of did the same thing with Dak. You have Dak in your top 10 just because you obviously see a lot of talent at the receiver position and expect to see him throw a lot of touchdown passes, which
and
that's what
we've
I'm
seen
valuing
Dak
there.
put up some big numbers. I mean,
He has.
There's the reason he got that big payday. I think didn't he throw almost
40.
40, right?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had some big numbers before. Let me see.
Beat
Threw
Brady
36.
Brady's last game. Not that that's
He did beat Brady in his last game. He's thrown 37 and 36 touchdowns before. So
Okay.
he obviously has the.
I think he's
the
on
talent.
pace to break that this year. I think.
Yeah, you were picking
I mean, if he stays healthy, he's had some big injuries in his day, right? The foot there,
leg injury. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do love him, Pickens. So I'm sure that'll be a fun season for you to watch Pickens and Lamb together.
Yeah.
Should be good. So we can jump now. Want to go, 11 through 15 or 11 through 20? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I can read off 11 through, I guess 11. I can do 11 through 20.
All right, we can do 11 through 18 if you want to cut a couple guys.
Or 18, okay.
Let's go 11 through 18.
All right, 11 through 18. So I got Herbert 11. I know you're a big Herbert guy.
He's good. He's talented,
Yeah,
but I have
yeah.
him a little lower. But yes.
All right. Now a couple of guys you've talked about already. I got Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, back-to-back, 12, 13. Got Goff, 14. Now I'm throwing in Drake May, 15. This is optimistic. Obviously, I'm a Patriots fan, but I think, optimistically speaking, if Drake May can get himself into definitely the halfway point of the quarterbacks in the league, there's a lot of good quarterbacks out there. That means he's knocking on the door of getting into playoff contention. Again, I'm basing this on win-loss. How are you sniffing the wild card round of the playoffs here, right? Because how many teams make it? 7 per?
Yep, 14.
So 15 is right there in the hunt, and in the hunt team. Tua, 16. Sam Darnold, 17. I've been low on him, but I threw him in at 17. He had a good, 2 losses last year or 3?
Yeah, they were good.
14 and 3 or something. Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold, then your guy Bryce Young at 18.
Okay, Bryce Young's higher than I thought
Bryce
he would
Young,
be.
I still got to see it. But I got him higher. I know he's got a little bit better supporting cast. Offensive coach we gelled with last year. Should look better in a full year in the system. But that's the layout there. I mean, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, you hit on. I mean, I see them around the same point. And Herbert, those guys, it's a toss-up. I think Herbert's got the better coach and team. I think Love's team's good. We'll see how Golden works out as a top receiver. That would be the only knock on him is, receiving core is deep, but no real number one guy. Who's his go-to guy in a crunch situation, we're not sure. We saw Herbert with Ladd in the playoffs. Ladd put up 100 and almost 200 yards. They showed something in the playoffs together. And who they add? They added back Keenan Allen.
They added Najee
They got
Harris.
that running back, Hampton.
Najee Harris.
Yeah, we'll see how he does,
Yeah,
He's got
you
some
love
tread on
Ladd
his
McConkey,
tires.
though. You love Ladd.
I'm big on Ladd. I think he's good. Then Herbert, he's got the build of a quarterback, right? Prototype, 6'5",
Cannon.
strong arm. Does sometimes get a little erratic. Sometimes takes big hits. He's had some damage, But he's overall pretty tough. Decent runner.
He was smart last year with the ball. Only 3 picks, 23
He was
touchdowns,
better,
3 picks.
but they
Credit
really
to him.
had
He
the,
played well.
They had the training wheels on for the first 7-8 weeks, right? Really run-heavy offense.
Yeah.
Tried to keep the ball out of danger. They opened it up more and more. We'll see. I mean,
You're right.
you got to expect that second year with Harbaugh, it's even more on the same page, open it up. They have to feel like they can compete for the division, which they should. We'll see. They play Mahomes week 1, right? Friday night. That'll be a good game. I got him at 11. Love, we talked about at 12. Baker at 13. I think Baker's due for a little bit of step back. Cohen leaves. I know he still has the weapons to put up the numbers. I don't know if they put up the same type of win total, even though that's a weak division. I mean, 13 is still good. It's a tough list. I have him ahead of Goff, and Goff is, the Lions are a darling team. Everyone seems to love them because of how much they've been winning lately. But I think Goff also takes a step back.
I agree. I think Goff takes a step back.
And those guys are pretty similar. I mean, both number 1 overall picks. Good when they have a good supporting cast.
I've put up big numbers.
I like their attitudes. They're competitive, but they do from a talent perspective, lack a little something that the Joe Burrows, Lamar Jacksons, Allen, Mahomes have. They need a little more help around them to get to the same place from a team-winning competitive standpoint.
I would agree.
He's still a little unproven. Youngest quarterback in the draft last year, right? I'm hoping with the surrounding cast, Vrabel, that he comes around. Offensive line is suspect. I don't expect them to make the playoffs, but I want them knocking on the door. 8-9 wins if they can do it. I'm a Pop Douglas guy. I think they've got a pretty good little crew.
Is it enough,
guys
though?
On offense.
Stephon Diggs, Kyle Williams, Pop Douglas, is that enough?
Like I said, I'm not huge on Diggs, but
I think Diggs is washed.
Kyle Williams, people seem to think he'll be good.
No, he's a good route runner. You need a guy that gets open. You need a guy that gets open. He gets open.
Yeah, Diggs is a chain mover. He's not really a...
Diggs can get open, too. I think Williams could be that guy that gets open a lot. Diggs is just his thing. He's washed.
Williams with the young legs can stretch the field a little bit, right?
Yes, go over the top. I think Diggs isn't going to be the player he once was, so that's why I called him washed. He can still play a little. He's just not the player he once was.
He's definitely not the same guy. Yeah, he's more. That's why I would have rather had Cooper Kupp, because Diggs, even just from a pure, what are we looking at physically here? He's coming off that ACL. Not even just the character concerns on the boat and all that. I just prefer the Cooper Kupp look. He came in, put up 2 touchdowns on the Patriots in Foxborough. You got a good hard look at him. I would have taken Cooper Kupp when he was cast off from the Rams. But be that as it may, it's just filling the role of veteran on the team who gets open on a big third down. I don't expect 20 touchdowns out of Stephon Diggs. Maybe he gets a handful, but moving the sticks on those third downs to keep drives going. And you just hope May takes care of the ball more. He had a lot of turnovers, a lot of fumbles. Most young quarterbacks end up tightening the turnover part of the game, and that's just going to help him out. So, 15, optimistic, but that's where I want him to be. If he's any better than that, great. But yeah, Tua, he's got the cast. He's got the surrounding cast.
He does. A-Chan.
A lot of people are down on the Dolphins. I don't know. This is I'm almost putting him here based on past resume.
Yeah, he's got big-time talent around him. He's going to put up numbers probably if he's healthy. He'll throw up touchdowns.
If Tyreek's good to go, him and Waddle, that's up there with any other duo you can have. A-Chain out of the backfield.
Especially getting open-wise, because Tua is very accurate. So having those guys, route runners, get open, it's huge.
That's true, yeah. He's struggled in the playoffs because a lot of times those high-speed offenses, they do well when it's perfect weather and no one's seen your game film, but after a while, you got to fit the ball into tighter windows or you're getting pressured, and he's not as good when his first read isn't there,
I agree with
you. And Tyreek's a great first read because he usually gets open, but you can usually take away one wide receiver. Triple team will do something. So, yeah, Tua, 16, that's middle of the pack. That's mostly based on past resume and the fact I think he'll stay respectable, but physically he's battled a lot of injuries, right?
He has too many probably.
Darnold, I got him up at 17 just because of last year. He had a great record, made the playoffs. They were right there with the Lions. Faltered in the playoffs, right? I think they lost to, was it the Commanders? I know the Lions lost to the Commanders, but...
Seattle lost to...
No, it wasn't Seattle.
Not Seattle. Minnesota, I'm sorry. Minnesota. It might have been Lions.
No, because the Lions had a bye, right?
Yeah, they did, yeah. Vikings.
Lions had a bye. I think Minnesota might have lost their
Rams.
first playoff.
I think it might have been Rams.
See, look at my list. I had Stafford ahead of him for this reason.
Let me see, it was Rams.
Was it Rams or was it Eagles?
Rams, 27-9.
Yep.
In the wild card round. 14-win season.
I still think Darnold's lacking a little bit of that playoff success edge. Seattle's supposedly looking pretty good as an offense. Again, they got Cooper Kupp, who I like. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, good running game, couple good running backs. Defense is decent up there. I think the offensive line's a little bit overhauled, so... he's got to be confident after how well he did last year. Obviously, the team wants him to come in and start. But yeah, 17. Got him in the middle. Bryce Young right behind him. Again, ascended at the end of the year, but it's not like he made the playoffs. 18 is high for me on Bryce Young. I have him above C.J. Stroud, obviously.
Was I right about my prediction last year, though? I said he's going to perform better. When you look at the end of his season, you're going to say he performed better with what he had around him than anybody expected. And he did. He
he
ascended.
saved his job as a starting quarterback because I think at his size, he's a little diminutive. I mean, I liked him. I would have taken him number 1 overall over C.J. Stroud. I think if he ended up on Houston, he would have put up good numbers too. Because when he was on Alabama with a good cast, he put up great stats. Mm-hmm. And obviously, he was a Heisman guy and all that.
He's a candidate,
but
yeah.
He
won, yeah.
He's a smaller guy. He's obviously on a franchise that hasn't had a lot of success lately. Mm-hmm. Offensive line suspect. Running game improved last year. Passing game, he helped improve. So, I mean, 18 for me is still him coming and taking a step from last year. I don't know what I had him at, probably like 20-something.
Mm-hmm. Like 28 or something, yeah.
18 is still middle of the pack in a 32-team league.
I mean, all these guys are close, right? 6 through 12, they're all pretty close.
These guys would all be in the same tier for me.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are very close. I feel like besides the top 4, after that, a lot of guys are close. You know?
Mm-hmm. No, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the league. So, all right, you give your 11 through 18.
That's why we have some hot takes, right? Because these guys are close together. So someone's got to be, ascending above the rest this year.
It's good for the listener. These lists are they've diverted quite a bit.
They have. And we're giving respect where it's due, right? We're showing, obviously, the guys that have won. You're obviously showing the playoffs. I'm looking at the numbers. That's a nice thing, right? So we see 2 different ways. But my 11 is Daniels. And really quick, I'll compare it to Stroud and Bryce Young. Number 1 overall pick, steps into a place no one expects them to win, right? Daniels heading into last year, was the number 2 pick going to Washington. No one really expected them to be a playoff team, just like Stroud was going to Houston the year before, and no one expected them to be a playoff team. And they really ascended, put up big numbers, and then heading into that next year, which would be this year for Daniels, there were some crazy expectations, and then they were still a playoff team. Washington's probably still going to be a playoff team, just like Houston was last year. But they aren't going to be as, I wouldn't say as competitive, but they're not going to maybe take that next step and be a contender like most people expect them to, which Washington was awesome last year, and they were right there, in the NFC.
A lot more film on the team now, on the guy, the player. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he, let's face it, like a lot of rookie quarterbacks nowadays, when he got in trouble, he ran.
You're right. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson can still do that. Josh Allen can still do it, but, Burrow did it. And then he got hurt. And now usually his arm gets him out of trouble.
Yep.
Even Mahomes, he'll run, but not as much as he used to. His arm gets him out of trouble. You need to be able to convert to more of a passing player if you're going to have longevity and if you're going to compete at a really high level all the time. Mm-hmm. Even Dak. That's why I'm high on Dak. I think he's more of a passer. He's a pass-first guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Daniels, as much as I like him, I had him in fantasy. Great player. Relied on the legs a lot. And, he has our guy Terry out there running around, getting open, catching balls.
Terry's a stud. Yeah, he's got talent around him. I just think he takes a slight step back, though, just in regards to people expecting him to step up in that class, that core 4. Just like Stroud was supposed to be in that same class 2 after his rookie year. People were comparing him to
people saying he's Mahomes.
Brady, when Brady's first year, he's the same poise Brady had. It's that always happens, right? And people want that next guy to be great, too, because it makes the league, obviously, great when you have another face of the league besides just Mahomes and Allen and Lamar. When you have more guys that are great, it makes it more entertaining when you watch on Sundays,
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Daniels at 11. I get Trevor Lawrence at 12. I expect Trev to bounce back a little bit.
I like this.
I expect Trev to bounce back a little bit. Travis Hunter, I think, is a wild card because I expect him more to play cornerback. When I watched him as a prospect, I said, I think he's more of a corner. I think on this team, I think he's needed more as a wideout, honestly. I think Trev needs a little more help at wideout.
I think even the coach is an offensive guy. I think it's already been said he expects Hunter to play, he said 80% of the offensive snaps, which Trev's going to like. Mm-hmm. It's an offensive league, the NFL. You're drafting a guy up at 4. He's got to be expected to contribute offensively.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. He's going to put up some good numbers, I think, too. I think when you look at his arm talent, and Brian Thomas Jr. is obviously awesome. He put up some great numbers with Mac Jones last year, right? When Trev was out. Yeah. He put up some good numbers. So now you have Trev fully healthy.
There's some stat, I don't know, I got to pull it out of thin air, but in the last 5 years, Trevor Lawrence is top 5 in terms of touchdowns going over 20 yards. So, in terms of deep ball, he's one of the elite of the elite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got a great arm, and I think we're going to see it this year. I think people will be a little bit more bought into his game. I think people really fell out of liking Trev, but I think people got to buy back in this year. I think he's a really good year. At 13, I got Justin Herbert. Herbert has been around this for me the last couple of years, and I know one of my really good friends Clipk74. He's a big Clippers fan, which he's a big Chargers fan as well. He's not going to be happy with Herbert at 13, but here's how I feel. Like, Herbert's a great quarterback, good talent, and he's going to put up some numbers, right, with Lad McConkey, and they added some other guys this year. Like, Amari Hampton's going to make that offense dynamic. Good running back, which BC actually really shut him down when they played North Carolina last year.
They did, UNC.
They shut him down, but I expect Herbert to have a good year. I do. And he honestly surprised me last year. He was very conservative to start out in the year. That's why the picks were probably a little low, but he was good decision-making last year, 23 touchdowns, 3 picks. Even with being conservative, 3 touchdowns is very impressive because in today's NFL, defenses are stronger, guys are quicker, they're faster, balls get batted around, your receiver tips it in the air and it gets picked. That happens a lot. Only 3 picks is very impressive, and has a very good arm. Like a lot of these guys, you see a lot of arm talent, just like with Trev. Herbert has a great arm. So Herbert I have at 13. And just hasn't really won that big-time game just yet. So I think that is probably part of it in this regard.
If anything, he had that huge loss to Trevor Lawrence, right? I mean, I know it was a few years ago now, but
you're right. Yeah.
That was the closest he came to having any type of like playoff statement. I think it was his only playoff game.
I think so. I think it was it. Yeah, he never won.
Gave up a 28-point lead. That's a stain.
Yeah, never won a playoff game besides that. But hey, maybe this year changes. The Chargers had a good team, obviously, last year. At 14, I have C.J. Stroud. 15, Jared Goff. 16, Matt Stafford. 17, Dak Prescott. 18, kind of a wild card here, Michael Penix Jr.
Okay.
So I know we already talked about a lot of these guys, so I don't really have to touch on Herbert. Well, Herbert I already did, but Stroud, Goff, Stafford. Stafford's just getting a little older. That's the one where I think he's 37 now, but I do love Devontae Adams. He still has some left in the tank. Goff, I think, takes a little bit of step back with Ben Johnson being gone. And I think everyone expected the Lions last year was kind of their window's still open, but I think last year was a really good opportunity for them. And obviously they fell short. And they fell short.
Little DN got hurt, right?
Hutchinson got hurt, yeah. So we'll see what this year holds. But I've got 15. I think he's middle of the pack, good quarterback, serviceable. We'll put up some good numbers. But I think those guys I have above him, like if those guys have the right situations, I would take those guys over him. You know what I mean? Stroud, Herbert, Lawrence, Daniels.
Yep.
So that's why I have him there. Stafford, no knocking him, still a good player, honestly. Like I look at 16, I'm like, he probably should be above that. He's just a little bit older. I don't expect him to put up as big of numbers. Now Cooper Kupp's gone. He does have Devontae Adams, which Adams I still think is a good receiver. I still think he's a top 15
Puka's
receiver.
Obviously taken over the mantle.
Exactly. And Puka's going to be that lead dog. You're right. Dak Prescott, 17. I just think Dallas takes a step back, which I thought they'd take a step back even before the Parsons trade. I didn't expect big things out of this team. I thought
offensively, though, could you see him mirroring what Burrow did last year?
Putting up big numbers, but the defense struggles.
I mean, maybe he's not as good. I think we would both take Burrow over Dak. That's established. But just in terms of how the offense is set up, with a bad defense and a lot of good weapons in the passing game, I just see the Cowboys passing the ball a lot. So I see Dak putting up. I can't envision him putting up any less than 33 touchdowns.
So 2 a game, just about.
At least, yeah.
I think he'll put up good numbers. I don't fault him for that. But throwing touchdowns, taking deep shots downfield, he's going to get picked as well. So that's going to factor in, I think, too. I look at numbers. He'll get picked a little, but I don't mind Dak. You can win with Dak. You can win some games with him. He can be competitive. He's just obviously hasn't won that big game just yet either, just like some of these other guys. At 18, Michael Penix Jr., I'm not going to lie. This is a little bit of bias. I was very high on Penix coming out of the draft. I thought he was going to be really good, and I still believe in Penix. I think he can be good. He just didn't really have many chances last year. That was a tough thing.
Yeah,
he only had a few chances, just like 4 or 5 games. It wasn't necessarily great in those 4 or 5 games. I think he showed some ability. Just a 58% completion percentage. Was missing some guys, downfield. 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Numbers weren't really necessarily great, but people are high on Drake London. I like Drake London, but I think Bijan Robinson being that lead guy in that offense, if they can be a run-first offense, like kind of Jared Goff has with that offense, where you rely on Gibbs and Montgomery, if you can rely on Bijan to carry the offense, 2-2, yeah.
I would say Miami's a run-first offense when they're clicking.
You're right.
They have a good run game, good run scheme.
And then you have guys that can get open. Drake London, can get open. He can go up and get it a little bit too. He's got some good size. So I think it's comparison. There's a comparable standpoint there between Atlanta, Miami, and obviously here, with who I just said.
Penix,
yes, exactly. Penix, Miami, and then who was the other team that we just said was run first, though, like them? I just said there was one.
I mean, Detroit's run first.
Detroit, that was the one I said. Goff, exactly. So run first teams that, open up the offense because now guys are going to get open
the
downfield when they have
Eagles
to
will run
factor in.
first too.
You're right. When you have to factor in for the defense, it opens up the offense for that quarterback. You know, when the defense has to factor in the run, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
It opens up the offense.
I got Purdy up there. San Fran's usually a run-first team.
You're right. It opens up the offense, though. It does. The defense has to hold.
Herbert last year, the Chargers were a run-first team.
You're right. The defense has to hold true to it when they see, guys that can run, like Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane, like those are top dogs.
Yeah.
So then at 18, that was it. Yeah, Penix really just didn't get many chances last year. I still think he's a good player, and that's why I have him at 18, because I think he could take a step up. He just didn't really have many chances last year. I expect him. He was very poised in the pocket at Washington. My friend Dylan actually told me about him after my junior year at BC. During my junior year at BC, he said, hey, this kid's going to be really good. And when I watched him play, I saw a lot of talent. There was NFL arm talent when you watch him play. And I expect him to have a good year this year with Atlanta. So that's my one. All right, my 11 through 18. And then should I go 19 through 25?
Yeah.
I can run through that. We already talked about some of these guys. Tua Tagovailoa, Cam Ward at 20. So Tua at 19, Cam Ward at 20. Sam Darnold at 21, which I'll explain why. Daniel Jones at 22. Okay. Drake May at 23, Brock Purdy at 24, Geno Smith at 25. I have reasons for all of this.
Purdy, way down.
I have reasons for all of this. Okay. Tua at 19. Honestly, I expected more of Tua last year, and obviously the injuries were tough. He still has gotten hurt, and he was healthy for a lot of last season. Wasn't he? No, not all of it. It was 11 starts he had. I was going to say 14 starts. All right, but he only made 11 starts last year, so wasn't healthy as much as I thought. His numbers were actually okay in those games, right? You look at it, 19 touchdowns, 7 picks in 11 games. Like, it's okay. But I expected him to step up. Like, after 2 years ago, we had a really good year, led the league in yards, passing, and obviously Waddle and Hill were a big part of that. And then last year, the injuries obviously got to him, and he didn't really live up to elevate the Dolphins like I thought he would. I still like Tua, and that's why I still think he's in. I mean, a lot of these guys that are 12 through 25, a lot of these guys can be interchangeable in some regards. You know what I mean? I think after Daniels...
It's a big tier. It's a wide tier.
After Daniels at 11, I think 12 through 20, a lot of these guys can be flipped around. As for Cam Ward, I want to have a rookie in here, and he's kind of the guy that... the only guy probably starts day one. I guess J.J. McCarthy's technically a rookie. I know this is his second year, but he's kind of a rookie.
He's still in my thunder.
What'd you say?
He's still in my thunder.
I'll let you talk, JJ. Don't worry. Cam Ward, though, I liked him at Washington State a couple years ago. I talked about him on the podcast before he went to Miami, and I expected big things out of him heading to Miami, and he obviously ended up exceeding not only my expectations that were already high, but everybody's. So I like Ward. I think he has a decent supporting cast, honestly. Like Calvin Ridley, good player. I think that offense, like the run game, you like Tony Pollard, right? He's still there.
Yeah, I like him.
Tajay Spears, he's good. I know he's banged up to start the year. I like Ridley, though. He still can get open and play. And then at 21, Sam Darnold. Seattle did lose some guys, right? DK Metcalf left. Tyler Lockett left. I know you like Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he was great last year. Better than I thought, honestly, and credit to him.
Yeah.
He exceeded my expectations by far. I didn't think he'd be a wide receiver one. He kind of is that lead guy in that offense now, right? He's the wide receiver one. He kind of was last year, even with DK and Lockett. He was the number one option.
He was, yeah.
He was the number one option. So Donald's had a great year. I just don't know if he's going to throw 35 touchdowns again. So I put him at 21. He's still going to have a good year. I like Donald. I stayed with Donald through the ups and downs. I have him at 21, though, because I just don't think Seattle's going to be great. So I have him at 21. Daniel Jones at 22. This is the lowest I've ever had him, and it's tough. It's tough on me to say Daniel Jones at 22. Did beat out Richardson in camp, so I'm happy he's getting the start. He has some weapons. I think Josh Downs is one of the most underrated receivers in the game. Michael Pittman Jr. is good. The run game's good. Jonathan Taylor's awesome. I'm a big Jonathan Taylor fan. I think he's going to be a top 3 running back in the game this year. I expect big things out of him. He was great last year in the last 6 to 8 games. And then Tyler Warren, I think he can be a top 5 tight end in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think he can be great. So I like Daniel Jones. I think the numbers aren't going to be probably 30 touchdowns like some other guys. Like Donald's more likely to throw 30 touchdowns just like Tua is, just like Justin Herbert is, just like Stafford is. They're probably more likely to throw 30 touchdowns than Daniel Jones is. But I think Daniel Jones can win some games for them this year. I think he's going to keep the Colts competitive, even though people aren't really high on them, probably because he's the starter. People aren't really high on him, but I think he can play.
When you have a competition to figure out who's the starter, it's usually
the sign the team's not great.
What's that say about the quarterbacks that you're rolling out there? But it means they're all close.
You're right. And if you like the Cleveland Browns, you have 4 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks, right? If you have 4 guys competing, it's tough. So I have Jones at 22. That's the lowest I've ever had him. The lowest I've ever had Trevor Lawrence. So it's tough. This isn't easy. At 23, Drake May. I want to have Drake May higher. I had him at 20 at one point. I had him at 20 at one point. I think he showed some promise last year. There were some players like, okay, this kid can really play. And then there were some plays he held the ball for too long, and he tried to dodge and duck guys like Josh Allen does and Lamar does, and didn't have the same elusiveness those guys have. I think when you watch Josh Allen run, Josh Allen runs like he's, 6'2". He doesn't look 6'5" when he runs. He looks 6'2", and he can dodge you, and he's big and built, and he can break tackles. But Josh Allen's just a little more elusive. When you're watching Drake May run, he just didn't look as elusive to me, and so that was a worry for me.
Josh Allen also has more of a power build.
That's the thing. That's a difference too.
But he's older. He's Drake May's a young guy.
Seasoned vet now. Allen's a seasoned vet now. He's been in the league a while. With May, I just think the weapons are a problem. That's not even an indictment on him. I just don't think they really have enough weapons-wise. I hope Pop Douglas...
The offensive line's also a problem.
Offensive line's horrible. That's a worry. The schedule is pretty easy in some regards, right? One of the easiest in the league. So that can help. I don't know what the defense is looking like they're playing against, but I wish Drake May well. I just don't know if he's necessarily... I think people saw some promise last year, and they automatically said, this guy is the future, and you hope he is. But I don't know if he's necessarily a lock to be just yet. But I hope he is for the Patriots fans' sake. 24, Brock Purdy. This is tough. He's going to have better numbers than these guys that I have above him probably. Probably will have better numbers than Donald and Ward and probably Penix maybe. And that's if everything goes well and McCaffrey's healthy. And Kittle's going to have a bigger role in this offense this year because now you lose Debo. Ayuk's still going to be banged up to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
Pearsall was pretty good in the last 3 games last year. If he can
you need someone like him to emerge. Obviously.
That's what you need. And if he's not going to emerge, I think that's tough for this offense. But Purdy, I've been lower on him just because he has a good cast. And if this year he has a really good year without Ayuk playing for probably 6 games, 8 games, whatever it's going to be.
Half the year, call it,
Exactly. And then you don't have Debo, which Debo is kind of not Debo the last year or two. He hasn't been great.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be get it in his hands, let him create. I don't know if the weight held him back or
he drops some balls.
Work ethic. Yeah,
he drops some balls.
As I said, I was never big on him as a route runner. Downfield, he was not great catching the ball. That was more Ayuk's game. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to key in on the guy if he's losing, doesn't have that burst, doesn't have that stab, drops the ball on screens. Those kill drives. So
I would agree. Yeah, I think he can play though.
Maybe.
I think Purdy can play.
The offense because you felt like if he's out there, you got to get him.
I know what you mean. It's tough, right? With some of these guys, right? The situations matter, right? Purdy's got now the situation's not as great as it once was. But he still has McCaffrey, right? So that offense is going to still be open. It's going to be run heavy, right? So I have a 24.
Still a better offensive line than most teams.
Fair. It's fair.
I think, yeah.
I would agree. And then at 25, I have Geno Smith. He's just getting a little older, 34. New offense now. New offense. It's a little bit of worry for me. A little bit of a worry. Still serviceable. Honestly, last year he was probably still in the middle half of quarterbacks in the NFL. He's probably 16 to 18. Still could play and win you some games. Just a new team worries me a little bit. Has some good weapons, though, in Vegas. Jacoby Myers, if he stays. Brock Bowers was good. Genty, I don't know, as I said to you before, Genty, I don't know if Genty's necessarily a home run hitting talent day one like most people expect. I'm not as high on Genty as most, but I have Geno at 25. So that's my 18 through 25. Now we can hear yours.
All right, 18 through 25, or 19 through 25.
The 19 through 25 is it? Yeah.
Yep, I got Stroud, 19. Kyler Murray, 20. Could easily put him lower. Stroud made the playoffs as a rookie. Was he back in it last year? Or?
Yep, they made the playoffs again.
Yeah, so they're sniffing around the playoffs. I don't think he's a true Super Bowl contender like some people did after his rookie year. Murray, I mean, truthfully, I wouldn't want him as my quarterback, but, from time to time, you'll see him put up the big numbers. Good little cast around him with Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, running backs decent, Connor. I got Rodgers, could be lower on him too. These guys, subject to fall. This is just veteran deference. I would actually have him below the next guy, J.J. McCarthy. Got him at 22. Ahead of Michael Penix and Bo Nix, the next 2 guys. J.J. was a rookie, didn't get to play. Actually might have been a blessing in disguise for him. I think Drake May was put in a tough spot having to start most of the games. as a rookie without much of a supporting cast. I mean, granted, McCarthy's going to have a great supporting cast. He's got Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, a couple of running backs, offensive-minded head coach who's good with quarterbacks, helped out Sam Darnold. And McCarthy's a little more athletic than Darnold, as long as his knee's fine, which it should be. So I think he's poised to be good. People actually think even Vegas has them as a expected playoff team. Could be wrong. Mm-hmm. But second favorite in the division to the Lions, I think, or is it Packers?
Packers probably favored. I mean, they're a good team.
Yeah, it's a tough division. I mean, do I expect McCarthy to make the playoffs? I mean, I got him ranked as the 22nd quarterback here, so probably not. But I think he'll have a pretty good year. I think they're around 500. No more 8-8, so call that 8-9, 9-8. But could be a dark horse. Not many people talking about him, so pressure's off a little bit.
Yeah,
Penix, I think like you do. I think last year he showed some signs, but struggled. Good to get your feet wet at the end of the year. Come in. It's not like you're starting your first game ever.
Fair.
Was good in college. Another guy who was an older player. McCarthy was more on the younger side, kind of like Drake May. So tend to think the younger guys have a little more upside because they have more runway. Penix is older. He's battled injuries. Good supporting cast. A couple of good receivers to throw to. I like Darnell Mooney, but he's hurt. So we'll see. I mean, he should be serviceable. Should be good. Bo Nix, people were loving him last year. I got him 24. The Broncos are good. They'll be sniffing around the playoffs. It's a tough division. I don't expect them to be ahead of the Chiefs. I still think the Chargers are better than them. Vegas probably the worst team in the division. Probably stay there. But I got Nix 24. Nowhere near the top of the list, but showed some promise. I just don't love his game that much. Another guy who's an older quarterback coming out of the draft, right? What was he, 23 or something?
23, turning 24, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, these guys who come in who are a little older, you got to expect that they're going to show more poise, more composure. They've played more games. So, people loved him last year. He still relies on the legs a lot. 25th, I got Flacco. I mean, he showed a little something last year. When he didn't get in the playoffs and they get smoked for the Browns.
2 years ago, he played in the playoffs. Went to Indianapolis last year, and then now he's back with the Browns.
Indy last year did not do as well. Back on the Browns, right?
12 touchdowns in 6 games, 7 picks. Like, you'll take that. He's a slinger. He just throws the ball downfield.
He'll chuck it around. I mean, in any given game, Joe Flacco, if you're sleeping on defense, he can throw the ball.
But he still can play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really even expect him to last the whole year, not because of injury's sake, just like the team, if they really start losing a lot of games, they might just pull the plug on him and get one of these rookies, Gabriel or Shador, in there. I got him 25. How far did you go, 26?
I went to 25.
Okay, 25.
Which you can go 26 to 32, though, if you want to finish.
All right. I mean, not as much fanfare to talk about these guys, and you hit on a few of them. So that's for Flacco. I got Geno Smith. I see them pretty similarly. I mean, Geno's probably more of a surefire starter than Flacco, but I would take Flacco in a big game. I mean, he's made the whole Super Bowl run before. Like, he's got a bit more pedigree than Geno, and Geno's no spring chicken. Daniel Jones, 27, won the starting job, but
all right, that's
again,
high.
It's one of those toss-up situations where I'm like, he's not going to be top 15, just winning the starting job out of camp. Could he ascend if the team does well? That's his ticket, I think he's much better than Anthony Richardson. I'd rather have DJ in.
Me too.
I think he's a better pure passer. He's played more games. He's made the playoffs. I mean, Anthony Richardson's a pure just chuck it as far as you can or hold it as long as you can type of guy. Tons of injuries.
Richardson's completion percentage last year was 47.7%, 8 touchdowns, 12 picks.
It's worse than a coin flip, yeah.
Jones was 8 touchdowns, 7 picks in 10 games, which isn't great either, but was better, obviously, than Richardson.
Yeah, and he's, like we said, he has made the playoffs before. He has won a playoff game,
He's put up some good numbers before. That. You're right.
Yep. So I have DJ ahead of Caleb Williams. I guess I'm much lower on Williams than you. I don't love the play style,
He holds the ball a lot. He does. He does hold the ball a lot
so
and gets sacked.
That's supporting cast. I don't think his surrounding cast is any better this year than last year.
Yeah, I think he's just now not seasoned vet, but he's got another year of experience, which I think helps. So now he's going to, obviously know what to do and what not to do. At least you'd hope. But my top 10 prediction there with him, it's banking on him knowing to not hold the ball for 2 weeks like he did last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, you could argue it's the toughest division in the league.
Definitely. I think it is the toughest.
It's got to be. I mean, now he's got Michael Parsons in there, too, a couple times a year. Like, that's a tough division.
I mean, it's 3 contending teams, right? 3 teams that want to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I got him down here because I don't expect the Bears to make the playoffs.
I think they can make the playoffs. That's why I have them high.
Could they?
I think they make the playoffs.
I don't think they will.
I sound crazy, but I think they make the playoffs.
I think in any matchup against a division opponent, they're going to be underdogs, provided the rosters are fairly healthy, right?
Mm-hmm. Fair.
I mean, the starting quarterbacks, is he going to be favored over Goff and the Lions? No. Love and the Packers? No.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings, maybe, when they're playing at, Soldier Field, maybe.
In the cold.
But even then,
it's fair.
I don't know. I'd rather have J.J. McCarthy. I got him ranked higher. So, yeah, Caleb, 28. I know he's the number 1 overall pick. I guess that's an insulting ranking. But got Spencer Rattler underneath him. Rat Train. I mean, in college, he flashed. He's got some arm. I think the Saints are looking for that number 1 pick again. But Rattler's got in, played a few games.
A couple touchdowns. 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, I think it was.
Kamara.
4 touchdowns, 5 picks it was. But yeah, Kamara can still play. I love Kamara.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes getting in there, even if you have a bad outing, the next year you're like, okay, I know what it's like to take snaps.
Yeah.
In the NFL. Could help him out. I got Russell Wilson at 30. This is not exactly based on his talent. It's more that I think, as all Giants fans hope, you hope he gets usurped later in the year.
Yep.
Unless he's going on a run where they're going to make the playoffs, right? Like, that's what's going to save his job.
Mm-hmm.
But they got Dart, they got Jameis. So I think either of those guys could end up playing as many games as Russ, just like what happened to him last year on the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers got rid of him after a year. You can't expect the Giants to hang on to him for any more than 1 or 2 years.
Probably 1 year.
Yeah, and then I got Cam Ward, 31, just above Justin Fields, 32. Fields, I just don't believe him as a passer. He's a runner. The Jets, probably my least favorite team anyways, so they're in contention for the number 1 pick again. Fields, I was not high on him out of college. I'm not an Ohio State fan, but yeah, got him at the bottom. Cam Ward, I just don't know. Unproven to me. I know he's an older quarterback coming in as a rookie, so maybe that is in his favor, but he's going to the Tennessee Titans who, you talked about how they have Ridley, they got Pollard, but Pollard's, Ridley, these guys are not in their prime. So maybe age-wise, but they've had bumps and bruises or missed seasons. I just don't love his supporting cast. New coach, right? Or second-year coach.
Second-year coach, I think it is now, yeah.
Not a great offensive team.
I mean, he's a rookie, so it's a new system for him no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, could he be better than Will Levis? Yes. Do I think he's going to have a better record? I don't know. Probably not. What did they win? 1 game? Okay, maybe he's better than
A couple games, I think they won.
2? Yeah. Patriots won 4.
I mean, yeah. And how many of those did May win, though? I think we talked about this the other day.
May won 1, 2 for Brissett, 1 for, what's his name there? Joe Milton.
Yeah. Joe Milton, he did win one on his own right against the Bills. They were 3-14, the Titans last year. 3-14. One thing with May, though, I want to mention is his rookie year. He had 15 touchdowns, 10 picks, right? Last year, May. Daniel Jones. What'd you say?
He also had a bunch of fumbles. Kind of like Daniel Jones. Yeah.
Daniel Jones, his rookie year, though, in those 12 games, threw 24 touchdowns. So I look at it that way. Like, Jones really did excel as a rookie.
Jones also had, did he have Odell or something?
No, DJ didn't. DJ's best player that year was Sterling Shepard.
Shepard, Slayton.
Slayton and Shep were his 2 receivers, kind of.
So
Shep was still
never
playing.
had Odell?
Never played with Odell. Odell was traded that year.
Yes, Saquon.
Odell was traded that offseason, 2019 offseason, and then we got.
Did have Saquon, yeah.
He had Saquon. He did, and then we got Dexter Lawrence and Daniel Jones in the 2019 draft.
I mean, May really had. I mean, best receiver was Pop Douglas, and I like Pop, but he was an undrafted or 7th-round rookie. Like, that's a tall task.
Daniel Jones did, do well. Made the playoffs with basically a practice squad receiver and the guy from the Bills that they picked up, Isaiah Hodgins, and then also Richie James, who was like the 5th receiver in San Francisco. Like, DJ did make the playoffs with those guys. I don't even know why I just thought of that, but I was just looking at my rankings, and I saw I had May at 23, and I was like, honestly, May could take a step up, though. I had Jones at 22 and May at 23, so that's why I thought of that. 26 for me, Kyler Murray. 27, J.J. McCarthy, which you kind of convinced me on J.J. I had J.J. lower. I had J.J. at 30, but then I flipped him. I have him at 27 because you're right. I am very high on Jordan Addison. And obviously Justin Jefferson people love as well, which I think Jefferson's great, but I think Addison's big time. I think Addison's a great player. I love Jordan Addison.
Yeah, Hawkinson's good tight end. They got a couple of good running backs.
Aaron Jones, yeah, they can still play.
It's a good offense. I mean, there's a reason Sam Donald did well.
You're right. So that's why I put JJ high. You're right.
And
I got JJ 27.
With the coach all last year. It's not like he's not in the same QB room. Like,
you're right.
You got to hope he's picked up on something.
They ran the ball so much in Michigan, though, and that's the thing. It's like,
he's a better athlete though than Darnold. Like, he's got pretty decent
footwork,
leg speed himself.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, footwork in the pocket probably needs improvement. But
he's got good footwork outside the pocket, though. As I meant, he can throw on the run.
Yeah, rolling out, like he's got some speed.
He can throw on the run.
He's probably. I think he's a better athlete than Bo Nix.
I would agree. That's who I got next. 28, Bo Nix. I think he takes a step back. Is he going to throw 29 touchdowns again? I wasn't high on him coming out of college. Like, I thought he was. He could play.
They do have a good roster, though. I mean, and I'm not a Sean Payton guy. I think he's overrated as a coach. Good little roster, though.
Yeah.
Good defense.
I'm at 28. I don't know. Maybe he'll surprise me. I just don't know if he's going to repeat the same thing last year, so that's why I'm a little lower on him. 29, Russell Wilson, which he's not going to play the whole season, I don't think. I think if the Giants go 2-4 in the first 6 games, to make the switch over to Dot. I think the Giants finish with 7, 8, or 9 wins in that range. I think Dot wins them probably 5 or 6 of those games. I think Dot can play. I think he'll end up being the real deal starting quarterback over Wilson. So even if Dot gets in for a game, I think he takes Wilson's job and Wilson doesn't get back in. I got Fields.
I think so. This is my take. Is I think they would still put Jameson next. So I think it's going to take 2 guys before they get to Dart.
Okay.
That's
so let Jameis get in.
Unless they're like literally 0-8.
Yeah.
And then in that case, if the offensive line's too bad, you don't throw your rookie quarterback back there to get his head knocked off.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be 0-8. I just mean, if they're really winning a lot of games, it's going to be tough to put in Dart. And then if they're 50-50, they probably go to Jameis before they go to Dart. So how many games is he reasonably going to get if he only goes in based on the other guy's poor performance, not injury?
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
I mean, maybe like 6 games.
That's right. I think he went 3 or 4.
Michael Penix got in after Kirk got injury / bad performance.
That's kind of where I'd have Dot, actually. If I could insert Dot into this list, which I know we're going just starters based on week 1, but Dot I would have around like 18-20. I think he's going to win some ball games. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I think he can be, if he started the full season, I think he could be the 18th, like middle of the pack. Kirk Cousins, talking about Penix, I think Kirk Cousins is the best backup quarterback in the league. I think he can play.
That's where I got him. Best backup in the league. Yep.
I think he's the best backup in the league, and these are some stats. I think I texted you this before, and it was in the sheet I sent you. First 9 games last year, 6-3 record, 17 touchdowns, 7 picks, played very well, 259 passing yards a game.
Right. Yeah.
And then you look at the last 5 games, right? After his elbow injury and shoulder injury in week 10. His last 5 games, 1-4 record, 1 touchdown, 9 picks. He can play. He just got hurt last year. I think that was the problem.
Yep. Yeah. I think if they really had a competition, they probably kept Penix on, they don't want to take the starting job away from the guy they drafted in the first round. But I think Kirk, that is, if he's full health, he's probably the better quarterback than Penix, even right now.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, but once
it's just like long term for the team, they probably want Penix to start,
develop.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I don't know. You think Kirk sticks around? You think if there's another QB injury, someone trades for him?
Someone trades for him, I think, yes. I do. I think someone trades for him. Maybe the Jets.
Yeah. The Jets probably should have went for him already.
That's how I thought. I thought that.
You're not going to trade for him if your team's not making the playoffs. A team that's in contention, guy goes down. Like, could you see, for instance, the Rams? Say Stafford goes on the shelf week 4.
Yeah.
That's a team I could see go for Kirk Cousins.
I think he'd be a good fit there, too.
I think he would. Too.
I think he'd be a good fit.
That's a good talk show thing right there. Kirk Cousins, Rams.
I like him there with McVay. I like him on the Jets, and the reason why I say the Jets, they got good receivers.
Stafford's actually hurt, but
yeah, you're right. But I like the Jets' offense, though. They're not going to be putting up big numbers, but
Miami want him. Maybe.
Miami, yeah. They got some weapons there, though. All of those teams we mentioned that he could do well with. 29, Russell Wilson. I don't think he starts long enough. And also, I'm not really that high on Russ anymore. He's old. He's not who he once was, which he can win you maybe a couple ball games. You're not going to be a playoff team probably with them, I don't think.
He's not really a precision passer. He's kind of a deep ball.
Yeah, he still throws a sky ball, or the moon ball they call it. But I think Dot
Well,
ends
you
up
need
getting in.
You need like the George Pickens, the DK. That's not really Neighbor's game. He's more of a get open
Neighbors can go up and
running
get
routes
it,
guy.
but not as much as DK probably. We can go up and get it. Neighbors is just acrobatic and athletic, so we can make those
Well,
plays.
you're not really taking advantage of a route runner if all you do is throw those deep fades or deep posts. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's true. It's fair. Justin Fields at 30. I don't know. I was higher on him in the past. This is a guy who had probably like 15 to 18 a couple years ago. Just not as high on him now. Just hasn't really lived up. Just same as Kyler Murray. Like both guys, people were very high on. Which I liked Kyler at one point around his rookie year because he has a cannon. I was all right. I hope this dude can play because he's similar size. He's not that big and undersized quarterback. And I remember just when I play flag football, I try to be like him. Smaller guy, run around, try to air it out. He just never really lived up to it, Kyler. Lived up to the hype.
Not the best attitude.
That's the thing. And they never said he was locked in. He was always playing video games. It wasn't really locked into the game. And I want my guys, my leaders, my quarterbacks locked into winning. You want them focused and leading.
What do you think his best trait is?
Arm talent. He's got a great arm.
You see, I think it's the legs. I think it's his running.
Yeah.
He scampers around. He's fast.
He
Most of
juke.
his big plays that are undefendable are when he's running around.
Deacon guys.
Endless motor and runs around and then runs into the end zone. It looks like college out there. It's kind of crazy, but when he doesn't have the legs to keep him safe, he struggles.
True.
He's not really a good pocket passer.
I would agree. He's got a strong arm, though. I mean, he can air it out.
Oh, he can throw it a mile. It's just like, can he see it?
True. That's tough.
And is he hitting it with timing? His timing's not great if he doesn't see it, so.
It's tough.
It's
tough. That's why it's been a problem for Fields as well, timing and finding guys, right? Just same thing with Kyler Murray.
I feel Fields just has horrible inaccuracy, I think.
Finding guys, timing it's been tough. Yeah, but he had some good moments with DJ Moore a couple years ago in Chicago. It was last year. He had some good deep ball moments. So I wish him well.
He's profiled as a runner, though. He's now Fields is more of a power runner based on build.
I like Fields. I'm just not high on him anymore as I once was.
I'm not a big Fields guy.
I wish him well. And I still hope he turns out to be – I hope he has a revival like Sam Darnold does. Just like I hope Daniel Jones has a revival. Hope those guys bounce back. 31, Joe Flacco, and I think he's better than 31. I just don't think he's going to start too long because that team, they're going to want to get either Shador in or Dylan Gabriel in at some point. So I don't think he's going to start that long. But I think he can win more ball games than some of these guys I have at 25 through 29, the 30. I think he can win you ball games. And then at 32, I have Spencer Rattler, and I don't really know about Rattler, honestly. Strong arm, and I didn't really watch enough of his game last year, really. He only played a few games. I didn't watch him play enough, but in the couple of snaps I saw, I didn't think he was going to be – I didn't think he'd start this year. I really didn't. And there he is. So, I don't know. I'm not that high on him. They did draft that kid out of Louisville. Tyler Shuck is how you pronounce it, right, I think.
If he was better than Rattler, he'd be starting.
I guess so. You're right. No, it's a fair point. So we'll see. But
I feel like Shaheed was hurt most of last year, so Rattler didn't have him.
Olave was banged up. Kamara missed maybe a game or two.
Banged up. He played off and on. So
I think he played through it maybe. Yeah, he was banged up a little.
He played through some of it, but he did sit some games out. The backup running back was hurt too.
Yeah.
And then even that QB player, who's the guy there?
Taysom Hill.
He got hurt.
Yeah. A lot of injuries. So. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think they're looking at around the first pick, New Orleans. I don't think they're going to be good at all, really. So
probably, yeah.
I think they struggle. So that's why I have him at 32. We'll see how he pans out. We're going to get something wrong here. There are guys I've had at 30 in the past, and they end up being ballers, and guys I have at 5 that don't pan out. But we're going to get some wrong and some right, and that's why this 1 through 32, it's really tough. Like you said, if we rank them based on 1 through 32 right now, week 1, based on how they did last year, most people's lists are going to be similar. If we're doing it based on where we think they're going to be at the end of this season, with everything factored in, numbers, and situation, it makes it interesting. That's why this hot takes. So I'm interested to see how things pan out. But before I jump to which I was going to ask you one last thing, we're going to talk about some back quarterbacks really quick. I want to give you a fan list that was sent in. This is our third year, I think, having a fan send in their list. Do you have the list in front of you? If you don't, I can break it down.
The mystery list.
The mystery list, here it is. I'll do 1 through 5, then you can talk 6 through 10.
Okay.
So we got Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Allen, Hurts.
I think you should read it out as it's written here.
All right. Mahomes, Buzzo. That's our nickname for Joe Burrow. Lamar, Allen, Hurts, and then you can go.
All right. We got Daniels, Goff, Love, Mayfield, Tua.
All right.
All one-word names, just the way they're known on the field.
Who's your favorite of that pick? What's your favorite placement of any of those?
My favorite ordering? Let me compare it to mine.
I like Love at 8. I love Love at 8.
Yeah.
Most people would have him at 8. I love
Goff at 7 is... That's probably more what people would be putting. Honestly, the public would be putting Goff at 7 based on how they've been finishing.
Last year, yeah. I expected a slight step back. That's
There's some merit to this. This is like a... How are they looking based on recent performance?
This is a good list, though, because you don't really have... Like, I have Bryce Young and Caleb Williams in my top 10 and Rodgers. Like, those are a lot of guys you're banking on to ball up. These guys, they can all fall in the top 10. No one's surprised.
Sneaking back into the top 10 here.
But he was a top 10 quarterback at once. Bryce Young hasn't been. Caleb hasn't been. Rodgers, in my eyes, has been, and most people's probably not. Like, all of these guys have been top 10 at one point in the last couple of years. A lot of my guys in the top 10 haven't. So that's why this list is a little more reliable, probably, of banking on guys to make it in than mine.
Yeah, I had it on good authority. This person was a big Allen fan, but Allen at 4, bottom of that top heap, is surprising.
The other guys above him have won some big games. Burrow's been to a Super Bowl, obviously, and Mahomes has won.
Make the playoffs.
Mahomes has obviously made it even a couple years ago. Mahomes has had some down years, and he still made it and won a Super Bowl.
3 Super Bowls is tough to
say.
No Brock Purdy.
No Purdy in the top 10.
Mayfield 9.
No Caleb. No Caleb.
No Trev. That's...
No Trev's tough. But I like this list, though. Well, we appreciate the fans.
Really going on that 2024 resume list.
I respect it. Hey, this is the 3rd year in a row. This fan's been dedicated to us, so we appreciate the fan list. But last thing I want to ask you, Mike, before I let you go. So we did obviously talk about the best backup quarterback. We both said Kirk Cousins. Give me a second and third best. I'm going to go Kirk. It's tough, honestly. I'm going to go Kirk, Dot, and then it's hard.
Well, we'll just do top 3?
Top 3.
To talk about here.
Top 3.
My second one, Cooper Rush.
I didn't put him in mine.
Kirk Cousins, obviously. He's hardly a backup, so... he is, but on most teams, he would start.
Yeah, he'd still be a starter somewhere.
Maybe not most, but at least
some.
12.
Yes.
And then, I got Cooper Rush. He's got in there enough and been serviceable that I think he's a good, solid backup quarterback. And then I threw Dart at 3.
Okay.
Just to give you the next guys, I got Mac Jones, DeVito, and then I put Gabriel and Shador. Maybe that's too high, but
I think they get some decent.
I kind of like Mike White. I kind of like Zappy. Isn't Andy Dalton still out there?
He has Carolina, I think.
Yeah, Jameis Winston. Even as a backup, he's it's not like your passing game is clipped. He still throws the ball.
Mm-hmm. He can still play.
Tyrod's not even that bad when he gets out there.
He might get some snaps this year.
Yeah, I don't know who's the... I know he's hurt now, but Aiden O'Connell, I don't mind.
Yeah. If Geno struggles, he might get himself snaps. Who knows?
Yeah, I know people are out there hyped on Joe Milton. I don't think he's... interesting, but not...
It's the same thing as Josh Allen and... Well, he's not Josh Allen, but I'm saying everybody wants that next guy that's 6'5", 6'6", that has a cannon that can run.
Has the build, yeah.
So that's why I think Joe Milton got the hype. But he's not Josh Allen, obviously. That's a good list, though. Mine's similar in some regards. We got Cousins. I got Jackson Dart. Then I'm probably going to go DeVito. DeVito's a guy you were high on, too. And I
like DeVito. I look at DeVito and Zappy pretty similarly. Maybe DeVito's
he's got the edge, I don't know. DeVito, here's the thing about him, right? He's a gamer.
I put Mac Jones above him.
He's a gamer, and he could go and win you some ball games. He's won games in the league. Like he's honestly a stud. He can win
Mac
games.
Jones above because Mac Jones, at least at a minimum, rookie year did make it to the playoffs.
He did. You're right.
So in a large sample size, with a offense tailored to his play style, was able to survive the whole season, make the playoffs. That's if that's your backup quarterback, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you just want a guy that can go in and still win you some games. That's it. And I think DeVito could do that. So my top 3 is Cousins, then Dot, then DeVito. And then 4 and 5's tough. I would probably go Shador just because I think Shador has the thing. I was never high on Shador in the draft, but if you take him in the 5th round, it's not a bad lottery ticket. And secondly, I kind of feel bad. A lot of people are really against him. And I know he's outspoken with the media and he's, gone at a couple media journalists and stuff that have, written articles against him he wasn't happy with. I wish him well just because I think a lot of people are against him. And I always root for those guys that are under the radar that, people are, giving backlash to. But I'm going to go with him at 4. Just because, fifth round pick, people had him in the first and second round at one point. So if you get him in the fifth, there's some value there. And then my fifth guy's tough. I don't know, honestly, for my fifth.
Mike White's in the Hall of Fame.
Mike White, he's won some games as a backup.
Most touchdowns ever for a first game? What do you have, 5 or something?
I think so, yeah, 4 or 5. I think I might have 4. Or might have been 5. Might have been 5,
I think it actually was 5. I
think it was.
I think he's in the Hall of Fame, honestly, for
Stud.
that game.
Stud. Sam Howell in Minnesota. We liked Sam Howell at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably won't put him at 5. It's tough.
I'm a Heineke guy, too,
Heineke you could throw in the mix.
Heineke, DeVito, Zappi. Maybe Heineke's even better. He gave Brady a bit of a run for his money in that playoff game in 2020.
He did.
I think he separated his shoulder going Superman on a touchdown. Came back in the game.
He did. Yeah, you're right. My 5, I'm going to go.
He's won some games.
You're right. That's fair. I'm going to go Jameis as my 5th, which is pretty crazy. That's 3 Giants or former Giants, because DeVito's now a Patriot, but 3 former Giants or current Giants that were all together this year.
He's had a 30-touchdown season.
Yeah, he can still play. Like you said, the offense isn't clipped when he's in, so you don't have to really, have a small playbook. You can air it out. But anything you want to add in, Mike, before we close it?
No, not on the back of QBs. There's probably someone we're missing, but
yeah, I'm sure there is.
That's about it. I don't know. Rookie-wise, I don't think we're as high on the QBs this year as we were last year, right?
Yeah.
Who's the highest of the rookies coming in?
Ward,
but we got him at...
Shuck isn't really playing.
I got him at 31.
I was higher. I was like 20.
If you count J.J. McCarthy, that's 22.
Yeah. I think Ward would do better, just like Bryce Young last year, would do better with what he has around him than people expect. And I think that will play into the expectation of him being a little bit higher on my list than most lists. But yeah, it's not really many big time because Shador's obviously a backup now.
Who's the second guy who got picked after Ward?
It was Ward, Milrow. Was it Milrow next?
No. Was Milrow the next QB? Wow.
I think it was.
See, Milrow's more like he's not the same physically, but he's kind of like a field where it's a run first guy.
It was Dart.
Dart,
then Shuck, and then Milrow.
So Dart.
Yes, Dart. That was the second. I'm high on him.
I think I would rather have Dart than Cam Ward.
I would agree.
A little younger.
I think Dart's going to be better. I think Dart's going to be the best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah. So I guess Dart, but he's not in line to play a whole season right now. So.
No, but he looked composed in the preseason. I know it's just preseason. I love preseason football, honestly. Rosters are at 90. You see a lot of guys that are grinding, trying to make it out of small schools and stuff. Like, preseason football is awesome. Then you have rookies like Jackson Dart that are out there trying to ball and make a name for themselves and work their way up to the depth chart.
Took a big hit against the Patriots. Big forced fumble for
he did.
That was.
He did. That was
51. He made the team, that guy.
He did. Probably because of the hit.
Linebacker, yeah.
Had good pursuit on that play. He did. It was a good hit. It was a clean hit, too.
Mm-hmm. Peppers recovered the fumble and got caught, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was tough cutting Jabril, though. I didn't really expect that.
Yeah.
Good player.
Maybe Mike Vrabel trying to, chop some heads and rule with an iron fist. I don't know. He's a good player. I like Peppers. You like Pep Train.
Pep's a stud. I was a fan of him as a Giant.
Probably the 2 biggest highlights the Patriots have had in the past couple of years, when he hit Hurts and then when he hit Devontae Adams.
He can play. He's a big-time hitter. That was against the Raiders, right? When he hit Adams, and that was when Adams said he wanted to leave the Raiders.
Right, yeah.
Said he was getting killed out there, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, he's...
Forced a fumble on Hurts that week 1. It was a close game.
Yeah. You still had Mac Jones back then, right? That was the Eagles, Patriots week 1.
A couple years ago. Mm-hmm.
U.S. came back in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Made it a game, so... Anyways, Mike, I do appreciate your time. This was awesome. Thank you so much for joining me for another year. This is our 4th annual quarterback rankings episode, and this was, I think, maybe our best one because of the differing picks we had and the kind of depth we had with our rankings, especially in the middle of the pack. A lot of different guys were ranked in different places.
It's pretty wide open after the top 5, I think.
And that's the best part of it, right? We're going to have something that make you miss. People are going to probably disagree with, especially right now, but maybe 3 months from now, they might agree with some of our picks, right? So that's the beauty of it.
And I prefer ranking it with where you think they're going to be at the end of the year, because right now, a lot of people have preconceived notions based on last year or based on a guy being a rookie or going to a new team. But You never know who's the next Sam Darnold, who's going to come, have a huge year out of nowhere, and then halfway through the season, people are saying he's a top 10 quarterback.
100%.
Which was the case. It was the case at the time. They were right up there, neck and neck for the division lead.
I agree with you. It's not as fun doing the 1 through 32 based on last year.
Because what is there to say?
Everyone's going to probably agree with it. So, I like doing this because it's hot takes and guys you're expected to take a step up, and you have them in their top 10 like I have with Caleb, right? Or Trev with you.
Going well on Trev. I'm still keeping the faith on him.
Right back to the wishing well, but I am too, though. I still like Trev. I do. I'm a little lower than I had in the past. I wanted to put him top 10. I had him at 12, which is still...
12, respectable. That's playoff.
Still had him in the playoffs. I still think he could be... I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, Jacksonville, but he's still a good enough quarterback where you can make the playoffs with them. That's why I have him at 12. I still believe in Trev. I do. I'm buying into Trev. I still think he's a good quarterback. I do. So, we'll see.
He's a young guy. He's younger than Burrow.
Yeah. People have given up on him, though. People have given up on him. But that's what happens. Guys give up on... people get given up on, and then these guys go out there and they ball, and they make a name for themselves. Look at Sam Darnold. Everyone was down on him, and Baker Mayfield even. People gave up on both of them. I was down on Baker 2 years ago. I had Baker 30 in one of my lists one year, and now I have him 6th, right? Or 7th, whatever I had him at. So it happens, right? Even Hurts, I was lower on last year. I had Hurts at 12.
People were down on Hurts. Hurts had to leave Alabama.
Yep.
Get drafted, comes in as backup, works his way. So
you're right.
Now he won the Super Bowl. So
you're right. It's a fair point. So we'll see how these rankings work out. Obviously week 1 now will be Thursday night. Which is awesome. Football is back, which is great. But, Mike, It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. This was awesome.
All right. Thanks for having me again. 4th year running.
Yeah, 4th year running. I can't wait for the 5th. The sports guru, Mike Hurley, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. As always, I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good one. Take care, and thank you.